Good evening, one and all. It is Sunday. It is, in fact, the very last Sunday of 2024. And it's time for us to jump into some more good old Warframe. Welcome back in, everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world. And I hope you've had yourselves a wonderful holiday, if indeed you've taken the time off. Welcome in, everyone. I will admit right now, my head is a little bit all over the place because my sleep and food schedules are both out of whack, and I have been working absolutely solid with Captura today, among other fiddly bits of tech, but Captura, let's be real, is pretty fiddly in itself. So my head is a little shaky today. We'll see how it goes, but that's why we've got weeklies to attend to, and it's why I've got a cup of tea in hand. Life can't be too bad if you got a nice hot cup of tea in hand. Welcome on in, everyone. And Mirrorlabe. I believe that was a Mirrorlabe. It's hiding away from me again. I don't know why it does this, but it does this. Yep, Mirrorlabe there with the 6 gifted subs out to the community. Mirrorlabe, thank you very, very much for that. That's gone out to Just DJ, to RPG Fiend, to Hydro Red, to Roger Fate, to Marrow the Invader, and to Healyzen. Mirrorlabe, thank you very much for that. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day where you are as well. Welcome, everyone. So, because I've been away on Christmas break, travelled off to see family. It was a great time. It does mean I am unfortunately a little bit behind on, well, everything. On everything. I've not spoken to the Hex in a hot minute. I have not done EDA or any of that lot. There are bits and pieces to catch up on. I imagine I've even got a former building. Yep, let's fix that. Let's fix that, shall we? Why not? Let's just slap that in there. There we go. Bring us back to that good old 250 Mirrorlabe letters. Because why not? And I think first things first is going to be having a look to see what is happening down in the labs and EDA. Hello, no Nitro. Welcome on in. Now, the reason I've been working on Captura today quite a bit, it isn't to do with an upcoming video or anything like that. I suppose, anyway. It's not for any thumbnail reason. It's because of a long-term project. Yo!
Month number 3. Cool number it is.
Cool number it is indeed. Mantis, thank you very much for subscribing at tier 2, no less. Up onto 3 months there. You've got that lovely silver badge with a lovely silver star right next to it. Cheers for that, Mantis. Cheers indeed. Z-Tray asking, anything you'd recommend building 24/7 in the Foundry? Formers. Former is the only thing that has really a constant cycle of construction in the Foundry. You could be constantly constructing the detonite injectors, Fieldron, and mutagen masses if you have the necessary components, but that's only if you need those to build the weapons from the labs. Most likely you won't have the means to constantly be building those if you need them. It's kind of the thing there. Certainly with the mutagen masses. So, aside from Foreman, there's not really any other 24/7 you'll be constantly going with. Yeah.
We interrupt this program to bring you Esprit, the Cowardly Mod Show. Starring Esprit, the Cowardly Mod. Abandoned as a wisp, we was found by Ken, who lives in the middle of Twitch, with his audience, chat. But creepy stuff happens in Twitch. That's why it's up to Esprit to save his new home.
Yeah, sure. Alright then. Esprit, the Cowardly Mod. I'm not sure what makes you cowardly, but we're going with that now. Thank you very much for the resub there, Esprit. Up onto 38 months. That is not a short tenure whatsoever. Much appreciated, dude. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Happy holidays to you as well there, Yasin. Alright. Necroloid, what have you got for us this week? It is a Chroma Nyx Banshee. I probably should grab Nyx and try that out. With Zenith Powdersis Tetra, nothing really filling me with joy there. Seer and Vesper. And then we got Dex, Dakra, Dual Heat Swords, and Omer. A lot of two-handed stuff, or dual-wielding stuff there. Sure, why not? I'm sure I can try and make something work out of this. Transference Distortion. Knife Step Syndrome, Frame Curse Syndrome, and Fractured Armor. Okay, that is definitely going to be a Nyx territory then. With disruption, alchemy, exterminate. Okay, that is a lot of mess to deal with. That is a lot of mess to deal with. Yasin, cheers. Did I get the Barrow K? Good, yes. Sorry, what? I went to Barrow, I had a look at the mods, so I had every single one of them and closed them again. But otherwise, I'm not sure what you're on about. But in terms of setup here, I'm probably going to go for a Nyx, Tetra, Vesper, I guess. And either Dexdacra or Oma, I'll figure out in a moment. That's going to be the loadout on that one. If you'd like to join me for this, send me a message again, The Engineer. I'll bring you on into the squad and we'll take it from there. Let's throw my equipment together. Oh, goodies! Right, sorry. Did I get the Barrow goodies? Well, I had a look at the mods and I had every single one of them. And that's about the extent of my carrying on the Barrow stuff, I'll be honest. Hello, Tyken. How you doing? Let's grab a Nyx Prime. Let's grab a Tetra. Got a Tetra, of course. Let's grab the Vesper. And let's grab... So let's have a look at Dexdacra first. Does it fill me with joy? It's got a 70, so it's been upgraded, but I've not really done much of anything with it, apparently. Okay, that doesn't fill me with joy. Let's have a quick look at the Oma first. Maybe it's been invested. Prisma Oma, no less. That's even worse. Alright, Dexdacra it is. This is filling me with confidence. I might end up having to drop a weapon, actually. In fact, you know what? I am going to drop a weapon. Let's drop this in favour of good old Nataruk, because you can't really go wrong with a solid Nataruk. So yeah, let's do that. Is Prisma Shade better than Prime version? I doubt it, but I've not double checked. Mirrorly, come on into the squad. And I've not checked my Nyx builders yet. Let's have a quick gander at that. This is 1, missing a mod, and 2, setup from ye olden setups. They have changed how Nyx works since then. I do appear to be missing Assimilate. There we go, we'll slap that onto there. I'm using a mid-ranked Equilibrium of all things, but this is an unformed Nyx Prime, so that's not great either. I'm not going to form her just before going into EDA, that would be daft. So yeah, I'll just run this as is, I guess. We'll see what happens. How bad can it be? Fair do, Aussie. You don't have to join in. That's absolutely fine. Looks like it's going to be a Merit Labor myself. Let's do this. By do this, I mean not jump away from Lloyd. I have to actually activate it first. I always forget that. Mission starts over there, damn it.
Master Entrati's experiments are under threat from the murmur.
There we go. Let's see how this goes when it is just the two of us, eh? Would I believe, still not rank 5 with the Cavia? I can believe it. I can believe it. Yeah, I somehow knew that Mirai would switch off a Banshee, seeing it's only a duo. Somehow knew it. Alright, let's get this cracking, shall we?
Secure key material from arterial conduits. I shall monitor your progress from
Oh, is this a auto breach? Well, I'll take that. Yoink. I have absolutely bucket loads of energy, which is very nice. Yep, Nyx can handle just fine at the moment. That's all we really need. Key right here. Can I pick it up? Yes, I can. Excellent. Let's head over to the location. Ah yes, can't switch to operator. Gonna have to do this the old roly-poly way. Can I make it? Yes, I can. There we are. Plug that in. And then we just shoot it down. One down. And all the while, Nyx is just invulnerable. I do have Dispensary subsumed onto Nyx, which does power up. It does power up Nyx's energy if needed, but because we got Stynax in the group, I don't even need that. It's curious that Overguard exists outside of Nyx's bubble. I wouldn't have expected that, but apparently that's how it is. I could drop out the bubble here to parkour faster, but you know what? That's a risk I just don't need to take. I could just roll. Pretty sure this has no effect on them. Yep, no effect. I'll just shoot. Shooting's a neat trick. Gets the job done. I've got exists outside of Rolling Guard. That is curious, yeah.
Wanted to say got out on the 24th and your streams kept me sane during my stay in there.
Hey, bye. Welcome back to the world of not living in the hospital. I'm glad those streams have managed to keep you sane. Absolutely, and thank you very much for dropping your 5-month resub over here. I hope you're doing well after that stay. I feel the need to specify the hospital so that no one misunderstands it as getting out of prison or something like that. Yes, much appreciated. Where's all these lot at? All good, Bite, all good. I knew what you're on about. I knew what you're on about. You know what, Agia? I want to disagree, but you're probably right. You are probably right. I'm just going to be happy that I don't have experience with Eva. Why did that pop my bubble? Did I get dispelled? That's another one down. Hello, Anatomizer. Goodbye, Anatomizer. We need one more key, and we'll have this round of conduits done. Random secret menu? Yeah, sure. Let me grab... let's see what's this button. Flash. I don't know what Flash is supposed to do for it, but it's doing it. So we can find out together. There we go, got the key. Let's drag it over to location. And of course it's all the way over here this way again. You gotta appreciate just how effective the Natrok is. Like for just a quest weapon, it does a lot of work. Even on the tap shot, it's surprisingly effective. Oh. Not sure where those ones felt like going. I guess they got skewered by Styanax. Alright, time to get some more dockets. The biosaves do hand out quite a bit of credits, don't they? Yeah. It's not like the best credit farm, but it does give you a bunch of credits that you would be getting. You just get them as a matter of course. Rather than having to farm the credits, you end up with the credits. And that is nice. Who would have thought that there'd be so much money in 1999, eh? Now with this, we've got... You can't see me on the mini-up? Oh dear. Well, that ain't great. I can still see you, so there's that. There we go. Can at least do a slight bit of parkour up that. You'd argue saves are faster for most players than Profit Taker? Maybe, maybe. But if you're at the point where you're handling the saves, I would imagine... Oh dear, gotta pop this. If you're at the point of handling the saves, I would imagine you could handle... index, that's the word. Alright, this one's in a really awkward room. I need to make sure I don't perish killing it. There we are. Now I can switch back on the bubble. I want carbonara. Ladybug, if you put that in the wrong chat. I don't think you can hand food over to Twitch chat. Play the strongest build, bitrate destroyer. I mean, it certainly does have a little bit of a go at the bitrate, doesn't it? Yeah. Just a little bit of a go at it. Now the key acquired. This one's over this way. You're just goofing around. Well, you've made promises to people now. Time to start sending out your carbonaras. We got some hungry, hungry people here. Come on. Come on. Go down. Go down. There it is. No one cracked. Like saying, with the usual Chroma Booster Blessing combo, from what I've seen, it hits about the same as Profit Taker. I'm going to need to do more testing on that. Well, you're getting about as many credits from Profit Taker as from opening safes in Holvania? That's kind of wild. Because like, Profit Taker is not a small amount of credits. Not when optimized. And that is the question really, what's the optimized level? 500k roundabout? Is that 500k per minute, per hour, per year? It's a rate, not a fixed value we're looking at. I've been bamboozled by markers. Which way am I supposed to be going? This way. Defense failed? Oh. Well, that's not great. We did so well up to this point, and then I got bamboozled by marker. Alright. Let's go kill that Grozling so that we can at least get rid of that pointless red marker. I know it's not pointless because it points at the Grozling. I don't care about the Grozling. Enemy destroyed conduit? Well, I mean, yeah. That is what happened. Yeah, focused credit grinding can be a bit of a ball ache, absolutely. Alright, let's see how strong this damage resistance is. Looks fine to me. Turns out you can't make a tankier tank when the tank is using cheating mathematics. Because if it resists more damage as we deal more damage to it, then making us deal less damage just means it resists less. Alright, one single docket required. We'll be able to get out of this particular mission. Shouldn't take us too long. How many credits dropped from one cache? I think it was like 200,000? Maybe 250,000? I haven't paid enough attention myself either, because, yeah, me and credits, we're kind of at the point where I just go, yeah, I'm good. Have I talked about how I got into Warframe / found it? I have, but I mean, I can give you the rundown again. Very simply, a friend of mine wanted to get me into it. I tried it out originally. Couldn't really get heads or tails as to what I was supposed to be doing and why I wanted to be there. And it didn't help that I opened up the arsenal and just saw a load of things for platinum. I figured, okay, that's where this is going. But then, quite some time later, I don't know, something just... curiosity got the better of me, tried it again, and figured it out. Pretty much that. Tech cash is 500k, 100k. I'm hearing 100k, I'm hearing 500k with a booster. I'm hearing a mix of things. Thing is, a booster does not turn 100k into 500k. So, someone's got the answer, and someone hasn't. And I don't know which is which right now. Alright. We are extracting. Let's see what our next one is. Because I've forgotten. Also, yay, there's a shard. Why not? Very nice. This is like a pretty common way to get into game. I imagine so. Warframe is a hard game to get into individually, like without any kind of support. And the advertising for Warframe... The advertising for Warframe doesn't really feel like it's trying to sell Warframe at times. I'll be quite honest. You look at some of the adverts out there. I'm not talking the trailers, I'm talking adverts for it, and it looks a little bit weird. Oh, we got these immortal ones, god damn it. These use ampors on them. I need the cold, so I'm just going to grab this and go. This way. You go into Warframe because your older brother wanted you to play? Yeah, fair enough. That's someone getting you into it again? Yep. Mirror Abe can see me on the minimap again. Also good. Hello, rolling through. We'll just keep on launching these down here until we run out of things that we can kill, and then we kill the things we can't kill. And I know that made absolutely no sense, and I'm not going to expand on the point. Yo!
7 months. Geez, time flies by, doesn't it?
It sure does fly by. I mean, we're almost at the end of 2024. Where has the time gone? I started to be a content creator in 2020. We're entering 2025. That's kind of wild to me. Ducked up, thank you very much for the 7-month resub. Continuing support here on the channel. Much appreciated. Who knows, maybe you'll be here in another 5 years. Oh, there we go, conversion's happening. You joined Warframe because of the new update trailer? New war update perhaps? New war, yeah. And yeah, the trailer for the new war was actually a really good one for giving you like a concise idea as to what Warframe storyline is. It was exceptionally concise, it was beautiful, it didn't require you to understand jargon, it was just right there in front of you, it was just the game storyline. Yeah, it was flashy, it wasn't actual gameplay by and large, it was inspired by gameplay, but it was damn good, and also, it turns out, inspired gameplay. Which doesn't happen all the time, but it's funny when it does happen. That was not the ample I needed for these. What ample do I need for you? It's so hard to see through all the other effects going on. Where is the marker? Fire. I could just about find it. Fire. Okay. Grab the fire one. Bam. There we go. That killed him. No, we don't want a Necromac. Damn it, I don't think I got it in time. Let's see, this is another one that is weak only to fire. There we go. Right, we need to head over to the new location. We want electric toxin. Here's some electric, let's take it over. You said our operators didn't get to go feral like that in game. I mean, we kinda can. You have Last Gasp, that was added into the game after the trailer. So if your Warframe gets obliterated and you're knocked down, you can just press 5 and go into Angie mode. And further to that, I just tried interacting with it, not throwing it. Further to that, trailers are often done on low-level missions, where your operator can just annihilate shit. Can you mind control the Necromex? Honestly, no idea. However, I have mind control subsumed off at the moment, so I can't find out. Let's grab all this toxin, chuck it in. Nice one is weak to toxin, but we're using up the toxin. Not very good. Oh, Mirror Lade's down. How did you end up over here? How are you? You called your pet Mirror Lade. Fuck you. How dare. How dare. I've got enough things to focus on without having Mirror Labors down. No, I'm not. Come on. This game is information overload already. You do that to me, I'm never picking you up again.
Got him, boys.
You can save yourself. I'm immortal. Thank you for the 100 bits, Tycoon. Oh, didn't mean a mercy kill, but okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just do that as well. I was going for the M4. Something wants to just step onto my blade in the process, that works. A little bit more. Let's get everything to focus each other for a bit. There we go. It's fully charged. That one's weak to toxin. I don't think there is a toxin M4 around here, so I guess it just gets to live. You made your Dante an Overguard guard. I mean, there's no somehow to that, Hunter. That's kind of what Dante do. Dante is an Abjuration Wizard with an Evocation Minor. Let's see. You are weak to heat. I have a heat one here. Huzzah! Still don't have a toxin one. I'm just going to chuck amphors on the ground and hope it kills something. Also, I should probably be popping some of these pipes now I think about it. I've just been shooting stuff. Pipe over here. There we go. And let's pop this one over here. That should be good now. We don't need to do any more than that. Excellent. Let's head our way to extraction and move on to the third and final mission, which I think was just an exterminate. It should be really easy. How do you know what they are weak to? So the invulnerable ones, you can see a little icon on them, like right there. It's bouncing around a lot, but there is an electric icon. So that's what kills the invulnerable ones during this alchemy mission. You have to look for the icon. It is not very high contrast. It is not designed to be easily spotted. It is a bother to deal with. But it is there. Try not to die on the way to extraction. I'm not terribly flimsy, but flimsy enough. Just javelins flying past me, as they do. There we are. Another Archon shard, lovely. On to our third and final mission of EDA. It is, yep, it's exterminate. Up in the energy.
A last-ditch effort. Emphasis on last. Wipe them out.
Do we need to get close to kill? Yep, it's a close to kill mission. Alright. That's fine, I can just kind of tank it. Actually, I'm going to need some energy soon. Oh, there's my energy. Found it. Subsume mind control on Cytonine? I mean, if you want to. Mind control's never been the most impressive ability to me. Get the Mercy, because apparently that was available. All these explosions can't do shit to me these days. Old Nyx would have run out of energy by now. Current Nyx just laughs at it. But yeah, you can launch your energy. You can launch your attacks. We'll just tank it. Any news on infested liches? We expect them with the next mainline update. And there you. And there you. Rustling that I do not care about. Yep. I think it's this way we want to be going. Need to get rid of powerful sister and prep for the liches. That would be a good idea, yes. I imagine the two would clash just like they do with Kuva liches. Okay, that's gone. Waypoint marker from Mirrorlave. Not entirely sure why, but let's head towards it. Yep, nothing. Yeah, Remnant Skull next, fire horizontal movement. Yeah, fair dude. I feel like just parkour velocity is order of the day, so if I went for shards or arcane consequence, I would be rolling around with no problem whatsoever. It's just I don't think I have those invested in this build. Fatal Bands, tanking explosion. This is basically just a different Revenant now. Parkour works? Yeah, just like with Avara. I am just continuously invulnerable. Poor Valkyrie is just crying in a corner looking at this. Not Mirrorlave is dead. Marker broke? That it did, yes. I can't really do anything about it. Excellent. Thanks, waypoint. Hui. Yeah, if I had access to operator, I could just go operator mode there to get up that cliff, but sadly no bueno. You get yourself Limbo Prime, nice. Definitely a interesting pickup. Easy to get wrong, hard to do right, it's Limbo. How are we doing on the kills? 9 more to go. Well, I'm in the pit.
Construct, tenor. Construct.
There we are.
Construct. Are you all right? I saw on the screens.
You saw Nyx, and Nyx is invulnerable. We are fine.
You're all fine, Lloyd. Thank you. As are Albrecht's experiments.
Ta-da!
See you on my return.
Success once again. Turns out if you just go immortal, these missions are really easy. Unfortunately, it also means the rewards drop down. I only got 2 shards. You see my Nasric build after this? Sure. I think it was somewhat buffed by Mirrorlave. I'm not sure what Mirrorlave was using, but I think Mirrorlave was buffing me there. But yeah. So, we pop into the arsenal. We have got Nyx herself was also buffing it, so let's just quickly cover that there. Nyx was using Arcane Avenger to enhance the crit chance. But otherwise, this is the Nataruk as being used there. We got Primary Deadhead, we've got Serration. You may think Serration is not the smartest idea, but it does allow us to get the initial kills more easily to actually get things going. Gavila's Aptitude, because the sheer damage that can come from that. It is an electric build, so the status immediately damages the enemy. And, you know, Galvanized Chamber is Galvanized Chamber. The Hush is completely unnecessary, but it's there because, haha, Silent Bow. It should be silent. Mirrorlave was giving out 129% Nourish only. Okay, no crit bonus? Could have sworn I had a crit bonus all the way through. Could have sworn. Because my crit chance is 180 with Arcane that brings it to 225. But I was hitting tier 4 red crits at times. As in 1 exclamation mark, so yeah. Next passive, I wasn't really using the abilities that much for the passive to be kicking in. I didn't think I was confusing that many things, but evidently I was, I guess. I didn't think I was confusing that much. but if it's giving me a lot, it'll give me a lot. Fair enough. 200% will give another 120% actual. So that'll bring me up to 345 at max. So yeah, turns out Nyx plus more plus all of this plus Nourish kind of did the job. Radiation on weapons and primers counts for that as well. Oh, okay, yeah, that would do it. That would do it. Not sure I was putting out any radiation, but maybe Mirror Lab was. Yeah, fair do, fair do. That would explain it. So yeah, Immortal Nyx, 0 Former, managed to do EDA alongside a Styanax. And, I mean, Styanax is absolutely nice to have around, but I will say, I'm not sure how necessary it was, given I was literally immortal. So yeah, Nyx good. Nyx good. Go immortal, control enemies, debuff them, get crits, get wins. Free Overguard is a boon. Free Overguard is nice, but like, when you're immortal, do you need it? Do you need it? Anyway, Mirror, thank you very much for joining in on that run there. I will not pop into the Netra cells because, to be quite honest, they bore me. And I'm not going to do them. I've done them enough, they bore me. Free Overguard's Free Overguard. I mean, you're not wrong, it is Free Overguard, you know. Ah, this lovely cluster of drones that have no idea what to do and just kind of... Yeah, they're vibing. They're vibing. Yeah, I'm going for 2 is also not needed. Yeah, you don't need any of that lot. You just kind of take them down, you're fine. Because max armor 1,300, don't get me wrong, 1,300 armor is nice. But if you're health tanking as Nyx, things might have gone a little bit wrong. Especially as the armor buff per enemy. Is it saying it gives you 32.5 armor per enemy? Yikes. Like, that's gotta be a typo, right? I've not really looked at Nyx properly post rework other than just the summary details. I've not looked at the numbers. An armor per enemy of 32.5. That's gotta be misleading there. That's gotta be a percentage or something, surely. Surely. What's the wiki have to say about this one? Nyx in a Warframe. Let's have a quick look. Abilities. Because I presume it's all been updated by now. Psychic Bolts. 25 base armor steel. Up to cap 1,000. That's exactly what it says on the ability, yeah. That's... Yeah, everything else is marked as a percent. That and the shields are marked as flat values. Overguard's flat value. And to be honest, even if it was a percent, base armor is 135, so you get 35% more than stated if it was a percent. That's low. That is really, really low. Like, you send out 6 bolts, primarily. So, assuming you hit 6 armored enemies on cast, with this strength, so a 30% bonus, that is 195 extra armor. So we go from 135 to 330 armor. Not going to count the spread for the moment, just the initial cast. You go from 195 armor, which is 40% damage reduction, to 330, which is 52% damage reduction. That's not a lot. That is not a lot. That is reduce incoming damage by 27%. No, it's not. By 21%. That's just not enough. Even with the spreading, that's not going to give you a lot at all. Wow, that is... I don't even know why that's there at that point, yeah. I don't even know where you go with that. Mirror, thank you very much for gifting a sub over to Zomtronic. Zom, you got that lovely sub badge next to your name once again there. Mirror, cheers for that. Lol Jack saying, so with all, but you get 9 bolts, then 2 each death, so potentially 27 1 cast. Yeah, so they can spread. And sure, let's go with that. So you get 27 from 1 cast of 32.5. Still hasn't reached the max armor it can provide. Because max armor is 40 times the base value. So with 27 spread, you're still not at the max. 877.5 armor from this strength, 27 bolts hitting. I was like... 877, we just about step over 1000 armor there. Just about. Which, to remind you, 1000 armor is a 77% damage reduction. Up from what you're already on, just base, of 31%. It's just not as impressive as I would expect. We go... Whatever's left of 77, so 23% divided by 69%. Yeah, if you get your base armor up to 1000, you've effectively reduced the incoming damage threefold, which is bleh. Let's not know what it is. Mortiwell, I feel like you are asking your own question rather than challenging why this is giving out that amount of armor. This is a limited access armor, requiring you to constantly spread it to further enemies. Armor buff duration at a base of 20 seconds, increase my duration to 31. You would need to get a spread of more than 1 per second to keep up the max armor value there. More than 1 per second. And Twitch is apparently throwing an error at me. Why is there an error? There we are, it's back. Aquaman saying at me, as you said, if your health tank is nicked, something's gone wrong, it's probably to give you a little bit of time to react as for survive. Shield gating is that. Overguard gating would be that if the overguard actually existed under the bubble rather than outside of it somehow, weirdly. It's kind of weird how that exists. Because you can even steal overguard, but the overguard isn't protected by absorb. It is odd. That just feels odd to me. But hey, mechanics. Genuinely, the shields and shield gating would be my consideration for your defense there, if you've let your 4 run out and need to recast it. Once you're into your health, you either have a lot of armor, or you're just going to fall flat. And what's worse is that it's not just armor. If you're health tanking in, say, Steel Path, you're not health tanking with just armor alone. You're not, ever. You will always be using some kind of damage reduction on top of that. Like, for example, on my Lavos build, I not only have 2000 armor, which is double what we'd be looking at typically here with Nyx, but he also has adaptation on that for a further 90% reduction to the frequently incoming damage types. Plus actual healing, yes, Son, yeah. Plus actual healing. Nyx doesn't have that. You're not going to be fitting adaptation to Nyx. You shouldn't be fitting adaptation to Nyx. You should be doing something to keep your 4 up. But if you're keeping your 4 up, or keeping the crowd control up, you're just not going to have the benefit on the health in the first place. You don't like she has toenails? Why can't she have toenails? You have toenails. Does Lavos have access to Arcane Aegis or August Set bonus? Aegis, yes. August Set, no. Because Aegis doesn't work off energy, August Set does. Be basic on that regard. No, I genuinely don't see the use case for the armor buff here. I don't. Aside from overstacking strength and constantly sapping armor from people to then sit in a health tank when you could have just not. It otherwise just seems weird to me. If it gave it to the team, it would be more interesting. If it gave a scaling fixed damage reduction rather than armor, it could be more interesting. It's just, in itself, it's just not enough. A typical damage reduction ability that's considered weak is 75%. This struggles to reach that. %90 is where you go, okay, this is damage reduction ability that's actually got some teeth. Granted, Nyx has crowd control to get enemies distracted, but it's not perfect. I just don't see the point. No, I just don't see the point. All the rest of it's fine. The armor just seems needlessly low that I would have just not included it. Well, the vault saying, again, it's a 50-tier fallback. It's not. It's literally not. You can say it's a 50-tier fallback in the same way saying, hey, Nyx now gains 5 extra hit points. It's 5 more than you could have had. Aren't you happy about it? No, I'm not happy about it. It's just, there's no point. There's literally no point. If you're going to try and argue that that 5th-tier fallback, as you're putting it, after rolling guard, which by the way is probably used up because you're rolling around because of parkour is your movement on Nyx. If you're then going, oh, and your overguard, which also has run out because it's hit before your 4 is hit, and then you're talking about the shield gate, you're going through all of that, you're in a circumstance where that's happening, the armor is not going to make a difference. You are clearly under such sustained and reasonable fire that a small increase to your hit points on health is not going to make it. That's my point. You can talk about it's a 50-tier fallback all you damn well please. I hear you, I see that. And I see that just as much as Mace's passive of taking off a melee to have a few more health hit points. It does just as much, which is not enough. You can tank by other means, but if you tank it by other means, you didn't need the armor. If you're trying to rely on the armor, you will find it fails. The only way it's going to matter is if you really invest into it, and that can make for a build, but it seems like just such a complete switch away from what Nyx is built for. It's like, why is it so far out? Okay, well, you're not hearing me, so I'm just going to leave you to it. I literally replied to your point. Like, literally? In full detail? But if you're just going to restate the same thing, that's what I'm saying, we were never under the fire, it doesn't matter, then you're just missing the point. I've made it clear. If you're only going to go back to your own point, just keep it to yourself. Health Tank Nyx, Health Tank Banshee in the same category of okay, but why? At least with Banshee, it's because Banshee doesn't have a tank. It's not that there's it's not there to think about. Quite the opposite is for you to not think about it. Mortarwalt, that's the dumbest shit you've possibly said so far. That is the dumbest shit. I'm going to call you out on that one. That was just dumb. You're saying that in the Nyx pseudo rework or micro rework, they added a feature for you to actively ignore. Is that really going to be your point? That's... You know, you can just watch a stream, right? You don't have to prove to everyone that you're not following the conversation. You can just watch. I'm just playing... No. It's not a fucking benefit. We're going in goddamn circles. I'm going to time you out. You're boring me the fuck out. Jesus Christ. Actually just going in a loop on that one. What is happening? The usual sunbathe. It's like building armor on Rhino if armor didn't scale from Iron Skin. Yeah. It is exactly the same. Oh, you could benefit, but don't ever think about it. But it could be a benefit, but don't ever think about it. But it could benefit, but don't ever think about it. The two are mutually fucking exclusive. Either it's a benefit or it's not a benefit. Fucking Christ. Anyway. Let's go do something different. Let's go get Stanley with a Hex. Ah, dear, dear, dear. Cowboy Proper, best look at a fool and stay quiet, then open your mouth and prove it. I think I've heard a variant of that, yeah. Best to stay quiet and leave people wondering if you're the fool, than to open your mouth and prove it. Yeah. Now I'll make a fool of myself all the damn time because I'm here on stream. If I just go quiet, it's not going to make for a very good stream now, is it? But, yeah, the general point still remains there. Alright, let's get some of this standing. And I've got survival or exterminate. The exterminate is probably quick enough that it's worthwhile to do that instead of the survival. For the 1,000 difference. Yeah, I'll do that. I can also switch up my weaponry now because I don't need to be holding on to all this not so great stuff. Has Ken already chosen his Valentine? Thanks, DE. Never free of this one. I am not going to be actively wooing any of the Hex. That is not my intent. Just not my intent at all. I don't feel connected enough to the Drifter as a character. The options just feel off enough of the time. Wondering how Dan is doing. Been bit since the last update. Yeah, so it's been a bit because we had the Dan video, then a not Dan video because I like to alternate, and then we had Christmas. I took a week break. Because let's face it, that's the first week break I've taken since about 2021. So I took a bit. Have I seen how some melee stance combos change the affect melee Delty has? I have not, no. I know nothing about that, sorry.
I'm talking total.
Oh, the break was nice? It was nice. I got to see some family, have a good old Christmas with them, chill away from everything else happening. It was nice. I kind of expected these enemies to be swarming. Let's just glaive them, I guess. There we go. Now we're getting a little bit more swarmage, kind of, slightly, not really.
Just ping one of Scaldra's secret stashes. Use the Fervon charges to melt the locks and get inside. But I gotta tell you, they will not.
I get what you mean, Ladybug. Yeah, I get what you mean. Quincy especially kind of lays it on heavy very quick. But yeah. Very true, Amir. Very true. They could be doing more with their lives.
Your window of opportunity to get into the cache is closing.
All right, need to find. Now I need to find the Fervon charges. Let's see if I can spot any of them. That is not one, but I'll take it anyway. I hear it. I see it. I grab it. Let's pop this one in. Next one, maybe over here. No? On top. There it is. Ta-da! There we go.
You looted the clubhouse. Guess what? Their heaviest serious hitters are now on the way.
Yeah, they can send the heavy hitters. It's fine, we got the loot. That's the important bit. File called auto aims? Fair enough. I can't say I really need auto aim. I do like actually playing the game a little bit.
Do the thing. Make it brutal. Or don't bother.
Yeah, I get what you mean there, just Carl. It's kind of weird that there's not like an invitation. It's just done, from what I've seen. Which is a little bit odd. And then they are a little bit static, I've noticed as well. From what people are posting up on Reddit and places. Just seems a little odd. But again, that just adds to the whole odd feeling for me personally on the whole thing. Lore dump, interacting in a friendly manner, in a colleague manner, sure. Whatever the hell Quincy was aiming at from day goddamn one, maybe not. Maybe not. I've seen quite a number of Reddit posts covering all of the bits and pieces people have been coming across when they've been getting very excited.
Dead horse, and you don't learn, and I'm tired. I'm so
Yeah.
tired.
At least you could tell Quincy to knock it off. Yeah.
Please.
I mean, if anything, that is, I guess, very human because... not the first time I've had to say that to someone. Not the first. Probably won't be the last. In a sense, that is just people being people. Still, yeah. Some people really are just like that. Some people really are, yeah. Some people really are. Is it really going to do this thing of sending me back for one enemy again? God dang it. Alright. Now we press forwards. I could have tried to figure the way through, but I'll be honest. I can feel the brain cells winding down today. I'm praying that this waypoint is taking me in roughly the right direction. It is. There we are. Did I even kill anything in that area? Yeah, the lore bits are nice. The lore bits are absolutely nice. The interactions, the finding out more about Drifter's experiences from what Drifter talks about, and how it hints at other interactions, or outright talks about other interactions. Like, Eleanor is a massive, massive source of info about what we're dealing with the Indifference. Absolutely huge. That side's nice. However, the question I've been asked most about the Kim system is not what do I think of the lore. It's not who have I become friends with. It's not did I see this interaction or that interaction. The main question I've got, even before the update was out, who you gonna date? Who you gonna kiss? Who you gonna smooch? Damn. All y'all will maybe get that question once from a friend or something. I'm gonna be getting that question forever. Until I stop being a Warframe creator, that question's going to just keep on being asked. And asked. And asked. And I knew that the moment that D had made it clear exactly what they were doing with that part of the update. It's like, okay, yeah. Don't make it easy to answer. I'm just an engineer out here solving practical problems. Engineer, just to be very clear. Not an engineer. But yes. I feel like I'm really dragging my 3 feet through this bounty, but whatever. Brain ain't braining today. Pizza. Oh god. And if I didn't have to go back for enemies or have them just kind of angry but stood somewhere else, it would be fine. No weirder than the rest of us, Radical. No weirder than the rest of us. Weird is just a way to describe something that's different from expectations. Let's face it. People are everything. If there's a kind of person, there's a lot of that kind of person. That's just how it's been. No weirder than the rest of us. Just different.
That's the last of them.
Which Hex member is the better drip in your opinion? Oh. I mean, it's a better question, but it's not a much better question considering I am objectively the practical guy, not the fashion guy. I've made a point about that a lot as well, and I know you know that, Bite. Which Hex member is the better drip? If you required me to call out even the color schemes of the Hex members, I would probably get them wrong. I would probably get them wrong. I'd get half the colors, and that would be remembering the colors of the base frames that they're based on. If I had to call out any particular attachments and details, Aoi has slightly larger hair than the rest, I guess. I've got Amiya's picture here, so it's kind of cheating on that one. Arthur, Crystal Sword. Does he have a scar? I can't remember if he has a scar or not. I feel like he has a scar, but I genuinely can't remember. Yeah. Like, seriously, just conceptualizing appearance, image, and fashion, it just don't sit there. It just doesn't sit there. Didn't want that button.
Right.
He does, yeah. Scar on the eye, damaged eye, right. Not an eye patch. There's part of me going towards eye patch, but I just knew that was wrong. Now he has a tape player on her shoulder, but he uses magnetism. Well, here's the thing, she controls it. So maybe she just controls it to not affect the tape player.
Well, look who it is.
Let's see, where is that tape player?
Okay.
Where it's...
Gonna see if maybe Arthur wants to go for a run.
Am I that bad, or am I... You said on her shoulder, right? Tape player on her shoulder. That's a shoulder, that's not a tape player. That's a shoulder. That tape player? That doesn't look like a tape player to me. Right shoulder on her left shoulder. You guys are fucking useless. Left from the front. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, right. That's supposed to be a tape player? That's supposed to be a tape player, and I'm supposed to tell that at this distance. Right, okay, yeah. Without you telling me, I actually just would never have known.
Check this out. Just came in.
And it doesn't help that it's on the side away from us.
You bet.
First seen on Gemini skin? Yeah, probably. I wouldn't have known that was there. I just would not have known that was there. Good lord. This is why I have to have things like fog off. I just won't see anything. If the fog's on as well, I will basically be walking through the dev test boxes everywhere. That's what I'd be seeing at that point. Green? Green it is. There you go. I don't pay attention to fashion because I don't really see the fashion. The fog on, you go to Silent Hill. You know, I actually haven't played any of the missions with the fog on. Let's do that. Genuinely just had it off the entire time. Cheers, Alien. Okay. Not. I twitched. Let's have a ganders then, shall we? Up next, stream is claimed by Fog, never to be seen again. We'll see.
Scaldra systematically pumping a furbomb through this neighborhood. Not good for anything with a pulse, including civvies.
Okay, yeah, wow, that
is to put them down first.
that does fill up a lot more of the space with just grey, doesn't it? DJs at work? Oh, I didn't turn it on from the previous stream. Sorry about that. Also, goddamn, this is hitting my FPS. Oh god. What FPS am I getting at the moment? Ugh. Oh, that's bad. It's dropping below 40. When I turn around, I drop below 40 FPS. That's... oh god. Well, let's turn that back off again. We're done. Sorry, I do not have an RTX 90,000. There we go. Smooth. Smooth. Not the slightest glitch or glimmer of FPS now. It's old school gaming? I'm not old school. Like, it's not the most recent cards at all, sure. But it's a GTX 1660 Super. It's not like I'm holding on to something ancient. And yeah, just turning off the volumetric fog, and it is smooth as butter, and I can see what's going on more than 10 meters in front of me. So if anyone's having any difficulty, if you are finding your computer is struggling just as much as you're right, consider turning off the fog. Consider turning off the fog. Oh no, the cache! I need the cache! Where's the thing to pop the thing with the thing to do the stuff? There's one. Ah. Was there another one over here? There was indeed. Well, that was convenient. There we are. What if the true fog's in your brain? Well, smoother FPS might actually help with that. Because your brain won't have to process the jitteriness. You'll just be able to enjoy game.
The answer is right there in front of your gawking mooncheese of a face. Shoot them until...
Yeah, I will always take performance over graphics. Graphics is nice, but performance always comes first for me. If it ain't smooth, I'm out. If it ain't smooth, I am just out. Because let's face it, if I wanted to just see pretty, I would go find some top budget sci-fi movie and watch that. So I will happily dispense of the fog, I will miss out on the atmosphericness, and enjoy gameplay otherwise. And we can be very thankful that we have that option. Can you spend equal amounts of points to request in-game music? Yeah, let me turn that on for you. Okay, because this is not actually a solo mission, I can't pause properly. I'll just pause anyway. If I die, I die. Whatever. Will that even kill me? Didn't even kill me. Pathetic. Cheers, Anchorman. Oh, wait, you wanted that to be the in-game music, didn't you? Rather than wait for me to actually turn on the thing, which I just did for you. But okay. Alright. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Make a request and act like it's been accepted. That's fine. That happens. You do it again? I'd rather you didn't. So we've got the in-game music. Not too loud. Should be fine as soon as it kicks in proper.
No hard feelings, bad guy.
It's the hex again. Really? Okay. I want you to ask yourself.
Is there a way to tell Victor to just get off this comm channel? Like, how can we not tune this guy out?
Deal with them. Yeah? Okay.
With the number of missions we've run against Skaldra, how is it this guy still feels like he can achieve anything against us? Even if we take just the one lone drifter approach, which also, you know... Are we alone or not? How many Warframes are sent back? Are we literally just solo down here now? I don't know how the lore works at this point. Siren's VA, Rib's not going to let us mute. Oh, well, yeah, fair enough then, okay. That is a completely valid assessment of Reb. Not going to lie. Completely valid. Honestly, I think Victor's either huffing his own gas or just trying to put on a brave face with the loss of the commander. What was her name? Rusalka? I genuinely cannot remember at this moment. Brain is completely brained out. It was Rusalka. Hey! Okay, brain is not completely brained out. I, in fact, got a name.
That's the last of them. Time to come home.
It is nice when brain brains properly. Very true. When the thinking gets thonk. Much thought. Many synapse. Very good. The shitless wedgie Victor. Honestly, I'd rather just ignore the guy. Commanders mouthing off like, yeah, we've totally got you, yeah, we're gonna defeat you, we're so good and strong, yeah. I just kind of end up glossing over because when you spend 50 missions in a row absolutely kicking their teeth in, and the 51st mission like, but can you handle Stormfall? I actively called you down 20 times to blow up your tanks. Yes. Yes, I can handle Stormfall. Kiba. It's all a thing, really. Up. Whereas I could just extract. There we go. That should bring us up to 10,000 standing, plus the items I picked up. Let's turn in the items. Let's be real, let's turn in the items. Yeah, so many lenses for these missions. Yeah, it's just the same as the bounties over on the Zaraman. They gave out lenses too. Not what I wanted. Arthur. If I have a look at the rank up, what do you need me to not turn in? Oh, I've got a lot of freaking everything, haven't I? Okay, we're good. Let's let's eat. Exchange. Hey, I found some pizza boxes. Do you want some? Oh wow, that, yeah. Daily standing cap, 22,500 remaining exactly. That works out perfectly.
Making friends wherever we go.
Cool. Yeah. Did you learn some more of your stuff? I'll be honest, with the amount of focus I have rolling in at this point, I don't even think about the lenses. Because look at this. If I go, okay, that, what the... Just slightly horrifying. Yeah, not gonna lie, that's, I don't know why they're so low and why, why that has happened, but okay. Thanks for that, DE. Yep. But yeah, as I was saying, on focus, I have a little bit of focus, just kind of lying around at this point. So I don't really think about the focus lenses anymore. I've got 10 million Madurite, 12 million Oniru, nearly 13 and 11. I've got 5.5 Vazarin, 3 Zedric, 7 Naramon. So, you know, just a bit. And they are fully maxed out. I can go through Represent and just like buy posters and some Darlies. You know, I'm good. Gotta buy up all the cosmetics. I can buy them all up and have focus left over. That's the point. That's the point. I can just click them all, get them all, but I don't need them all. So it's just focus there, yeah. Do you still need to finish your Vazarin? Well, there's easy ways of getting it. Also, hang on, I was using Drifter. Who said that was designed for Drifter? I mean, I was on Drifter. So why did that not... I don't know. Radio Rebel. Stood on top of the sound equipment. Yeah, that fits. Drifter got short. Well, you know, it's based on the player, right? I'm 5'5", my Drifter's 5'5". Oh yeah, I forgot I had this playing in the Orbiter. Just quickly grab those so people don't complain about that again. You're under 5'5"? Oh, fair enough. Now we know why all the drones have been bouncing around like this. And now they all stop bouncing around. Okay, way to make me look like an idiot. There we are. I don't know why they're doing this. Anyway, yeah, enough of that. So, gone through the Netracell, or the EDA, I'm not going to do Netracells. We've gone ahead and sorted out the hex standing for the day. Feel like you entered through the wrong door, 6'5". I mean, you smacked your head on the way in, yeah. Well, we would go for the obvious jokes, but honestly, it's just low-hanging fruit. Yeah, we could all be bigger than that. Well, some of us anyway. Going back to the game for the first time since 2018. Hello. Hey, welcome on in. I started playing the game in 2019, very end of 2019. So, you quit before I started. Welcome in. Why is Lavos doing military drill with the gun? It's the stance I put on him. It uses the idle animations from Harrow. Oh god, you're old? I mean, are you old or have you just not played the game in a while? Because, you know, I've found out that the average age of viewers on this channel is not exactly spring chickens in general anyway. I mean, I'm 31 for starters, so take it from there. Newer than you and so far ahead. One of the benefits of, you know, it being my job is that I get a bit of time to play this game, believe it or not. That does help out. See, there it is, yep. Out come all the people who regularly have to take painkillers for their back or knees. That's what's going on. Nitro, I'm glad you specified. Not actually a child. If you're a child here, that lead to removals. Yeah, look at that. We've got an absolute spread of people here. Absolute spread of ages. Going with your 2-year-old, you feel old? Okay, now that will probably be the bit, yes. There's probably a considerable cross-section between people who feel old and people who have a kid. As someone who is at this point in time completely child-free, yeah, I haven't aged that same way, have I? I have not spent however many months or whatever being woken up by a newborn. I don't have to deal with that. Works for me. Works for me. Someone saying, in fact, I'd say there's considerable overlap between people who feel old and people who are old. Oh, no, 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 no. Come on. We've got Zom here at 24 going, my body is decrepit, though. Yeah. 30 years old? 30 is not fucking old. 30 is not old. The first 10 years of your life, you're barely waking up to actually what the hell is even going on around you. The next 10 years are just absolute cringe. Seriously, between 11 and 19, you are just cringe. 10 to 19, however you want to look at it. You're just cringe. There's no getting away from it. Even if you try to not be cringe, you'll just be a different form of cringe. That's what you do in your teen years. You create cringe. And every generation brings in a new batch of cringe to make the generation that came before them go, oh dear God, what is that? It's just cringe. Between 20 and 30, you think you're now out of the cringe. Unfortunately, this is another level of cringe. Because between 20 and 30, you're now trying to step into the adult world. You're now trying to make some steps there, but also you're now actually allowed to be an adult for yourself. And this leads to a whole new bunch of issues. You get the people who try and make a job their entire life and personality, and that's its own cringe. Or you get people that dive into having a kid far too soon and become just the most obnoxious kind of mums that you find over on Facebook. That kind of cringe. There are all kinds of different adult variants of cringe. And because of the way the economy and things have gone, between 20 and 30 for a lot of y'all, and certainly for me, money isn't exactly flowing freely. It ain't the most flush. So there you are in your 20s going, hey, look at all this amazing stuff we can do. Shit, I can't afford it, half of it. It's all a bit of a mess. From what I'm seeing so far, the way things are shaping up for me, 30s. Now that's where things can actually start to come together. Because after 30 years on the planet, you'll have certainly seen plenty enough cringe that you learn one very, very important fact. Live for the cringe. You want to. You don't want to make people actually uncomfortable, but you don't shy away from just living. And by that point, you'll have, hopefully, at least some movement going on in terms of a career path, so now you can also have the finances to allow you to indulge yourself in that cringe how you see best. If that means that you are being cringy with your friends, just having an absolutely gay old time, and I'm using multiple definitions there at the same time for the fun of it, go for it. If you've got a little sprog in tow, however young or old your kid is, you can introduce them to your own special brand of cringe, or make it where they are just shirking away going, no, please, Mom, Dad, stop. You know? But my little one, isn't this all absolutely poggers? And you just know they're dying inside every time you do that. But it's not the wrong, harsh kind of cringe. You're not making them actually suffer. They're just not yet used to the idea that live for it. Live for it. Or you can bully a streamer in Minecraft. This is true. Or you could be the streamer getting bullied in Minecraft, for those of you who missed it on Friday. Seriously, when you strip it down to its bare bones, does any part of what happened on Friday sound not cringe? A 31-year-old streamer hopped onto the stream to load up a solo gameplay experience of Minecraft, a game that has been out for absolutely years at this point, which is targeted right the way down to young children, to then say, hey guys, not only are we going to do a bit of gameplay that you've seen before, but we're now also going to make it where you can just screw it up for money. Bully me. And that was the Friday stream. Yes, bread on head. Happened multiple times over. When you really tear it down to the fundamentals. When you really tear it down, how is that not cringe? And it was brilliant. And it was brilliant. So, yeah. 30 is not old. Yeah, you got half of everything figured out by 30, let's be real. There are not enough years in a lifespan to have everything figured out. But you certainly get to a point, hopefully by then, where you've found enough of yourself and enough of what really gets you going, that you can find your own particular brand of cringe to live life with. 30 isn't old. 30 is just where another whole brand of good comes in. Absolutely. And I think the vast majority of everyone here over the age of 30 can concur with this. So if you are under 30, if you are looking at your 20s, rapidly running behind you, and 30 on that very rapid approach, you're going, ah, no, God, why, no? Do not fret. The only people that really think 30 is just dead to them are twinks on Grindr. Not worth it. Don't worry about it. I'm out of tea, let's switch to the water. Except for the DLC that gets automatically downloaded every year after you turn 25, you can't install, called Aging Pains. That's an individual thing. Not gonna lie, that's an individual thing. Do you not remember how on QTCC it was just like, hey, Ken, do a whole bunch of squats for the hell of it? Because sure, why not? Did it look like I was in actual pain then? It's individual. You get what you get, and some people get worse hands than others. I accept that I am thoroughly goddamn blessed. Genuinely blessed. I should really go and get an eye test. I think my eyes are finally starting to not be so great. I do expect that if I were to get an eye test, I'd be like, yeah, you could really do with glasses at this point. I imagine that is the case. But they've held on quite well to say that I've been staring at a screen for a lot of waking hours in general. Legs are still going strong. Arms are going strong. No real allergies to speak of. None of that to worry about. Neurodivergence, yeah, but that's not really a problem, is it? That's just a different way of existing, but that's its own kettle of fish. No, I'm goddamn fortunate. And that does positively color the way I look at things. It's true. It does positively color things. But I would say then, for those who are not so fortunate, is it a matter of age or is it a matter of just bad luck? The young'uns don't need to fear age for things that are nothing to do with age. Someone was saying, wish I could say for sure that I'm improving in the mental department, but I'm not sure. Well, the simplest when it comes to mental department is to understand that in the past, you're an idiot. In the future, you might also be an idiot. And today, you probably are an idiot. But if you manage to be aware of that, at least you can try to be less of an idiot. Only an idiot thinks they're not going to be an idiot tomorrow. Just try to be less of one. Hey, fair dude, Rocker. Fair dude. Glad that's been going well for you. Goblin say, with 30, you have to start looking at not eating certain things. You have to warm your muscles before exercising. Your back may start giving you warnings from time to time. Alright, flex time. It's just... I'm just going to grab a bit of flapjack. I don't really care. Nope, that's crumbs everywhere. Warm up for exercise? Watch what I eat? It's not a problem. I really don't care. Seriously. It is different. for everyone. I looked at it, so that counts as watching. Nah. Now my jaw is giving out a little bit, but that's separate. That's just TMJ. Apologies if I've got anything stuck in my teeth now. There's some really, really rich flapjack, by the way. I brought that back from Christmas. Oh, it is gorgeous. Let's get those couple crumbs out of the way. That really exploded crumbs right over my desk. I probably shouldn't have done that. How old am I? 31. 31. So yeah. Like I say, I'm blessed, but also you can just take steps to look after yourself. Do the best you can with the hand you're dealt. I don't look a day over 31? Well, thank you for that. I'm glad I've got a few extra days hidden away somewhere. Hand in pocket, food in the other is definitely a pose for squats. Hey, it works. It worked. Did it look like I was in any amount of struggle? Formers, don't need. Thermi fractures, I'm going to continue to ignore because I just cannot be bothered to do them. To be quite honest, you know what? It's been so long since I've done an item hunt. For the hell of it. Now seriously, what's more cringe than seeing people talking about their woes of aging, grabbing flapjack and just squatting on stream to flex? Wasn't even many squats, it's only like, what, 15 or so? That's cringe.
Hey, welcome to my bazaar. Looking for Ayaten? I knew it.
You'll be streaming about another hour and a half? That's correct. After that, I need to do some work on my website. Maru is cringe? Maru is cringe, yes. I need to do some work on the website. I want to see about trying to get some bits and pieces together so that I can have a proper setup for the download of the D&D Warframe project. Because that is very, very, very nearly done. It is pretty much a case of I need to set up a way for y'all to get hold of it. D&D Warframe? Yup. To turn every Warframe into a Dungeons & Dragons monster multiple times over. There are, I think, 259 stat blocks.
I stumbled across an
Didn't realize I had a website? Yeah, thekengineer.com. Which will be on a lot of people's radar as soon as I actually do the proper release of the document. Oh, I've got oats just in my teeth now. Sorry about that.
Well, this should be fun. Maybe you should stretch first. You know, limber up.
We've just covered it. I don't need to do that.
Don't look now, tin stuff. There's an Ayaten.
Got it.
Nearby. That's what we came here for. Your job's done.
Flapjack say this effect. Yeah. Lore accurate Lavos just wipes out everything. Yep, I didn't even get to shoot that one. That one also did die to Lavos's attack. It is these low-level missions that really makes you feel just how effective a Warframe appears in the lore. Where you just bullet jump past them, they die. I'll convert you into a Lavos main? Hey, nice. Welcome to the club. Lavos is amazing. It's called bullet jumping for a reason. Very true, although it's more like bomb jumping because it's a small AoE explosion. Ah. I really want to finish that flapjack. But I also don't want to just spend the next few minutes chowing down on that on stream. Not gonna lie. Throwback to someone bullet jumping an acolyte to death on stream recently? Oh god, yeah. that was flexing right there. Utterly unnecessary and absolutely hilarious in the process. Yup. Need to try Lavos. Been having a great time with Runa recently. Oh, Lavos is great. Should be getting a Prime soon? Yes. Lavos should be getting a Prime sometime in the next 12 months. I'm completely hedging there. It's probably sooner than 12 months, but it's just not been announced. Who did it and Working Your Watch? Who did it? Can't remember. Working Your Watch. I think the VOD's available on YouTube. As long as it wasn't one that broke because my ISP being a dick. Give in to your instincts, consume the flapjack. I'll have to wait. It can sit there. I'll have some self-control. I'll be fine. I really need to get that oat out of my teeth. You know what? One sec. Much better. Right then. The flapjack ate me? No. Alright. I've gone through the major weeklies that I actually give a damn about right now. So, you know what? Whilst Brain is continuing to still be a melting pot of what? Let's crack open some relics. Why not? It's the season for opening presents, and relics are basically gifts, because you never know what's inside them. Let's do some relic cracking. If you'd like to join me on that, send me a message in-game, the Engineer. I'll bring you into the squad. Let's see, have we... Oh, look at that. We're just destined to do a Capture Neo Fisher. There's Neo Capture, Neo Capture, Neo Capture. Take your bloody pick. They are about to run out, but, you know, 3 of them up at once. You may indeed join in for relics. Come on in. How do you do that again? Exclamation mark join in the Twitch chat here. The bot will tell you exactly how to send the message over. One of these days, drones are going to revolt. Nah, I keep dropping crumbs for them. They're happy. What is that glyph? I can't get a better look at it, can I? Nope. Oh well. Come on in, Mirror Lab. There we go. We got one more spot ready. One more spot available. There we go. And here's a Nexus. Go on in, Nexus. Seeing as that one has just expired, unfortunate, we'll go for the one that's got the longest time on it. And have I got any refined ones? One. Alright. We'll run that one. Tilt Warframe chat has an eyes emoji? Oh, today you learned, right. Mantis saying, decided to do belt ratting after losing the tags, want to sell on jitters, and if you don't have people in the system, what could go wrong? Mantis, are you telling me this before or after something has gone wrong? Also, you say losing the tags. Are you talking about the previous run you did? Or have you lost yet more tags? I'll be concerned if you've lost yet more.
Do you have a magic relic? You found a fissure. Look out for reactant.
Bah. Lost 3 tags, nothing much. Okay, fair enough. Alright.
The corrupted and use their reactant to open a relic.
Yeah, relics.
Is working on your relic. Find more. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
Yeah, we'll do a few relics, and then
Bring them in. We cannot let our target know what
just a quick curiosity actually. How many people here? No, I'm not going to ask you as a question. Let's do a poll. I'm just going to stand for a sec. Let's do a quick poll.
walkers incoming.
I want proper answers from as many people as possible, so make sure you do vote on this so I can know what's actually up. There we go. Let's put 3 minutes on the poll. Quick question. Do you know what the D&D project is? As in, with direct reference to myself, so not just any old random project. Do you know what my Warframe D&D project is? Have we got a load of people here who know, or just a couple of people? And everyone else is like, what the fuck is that? Meanwhile, I'm going to get stuck on every bit of terrain because it's Europa. Or Neptune, or one of the ones that just has this mess.
Reactant to open the relic.
This way. Yep, God's up. Navigating this is a pain. There we are. Oh, bollocks. I overshot. Don't overshoot again. Alright, let's have a look. How's that poll going? 57% yes, 43% no. Interesting. Hey, hello, Wisp. I always feel so embarrassed when anyone getting stuck on terrain, the entire squad. It just happens. Don't worry about it. It just happens. You'd have expected a higher yes percentage? I expected a lower one, I'll be honest. I'm actually kind of surprised we got more than 50% of people here do know what the D&D project is. Or at least of those of you who have voted. It is only 39 votes so far. Out of 138 people watching. That should still be it. Let's switch this now to own. Let's just burn up some of these ones. I've got plenty of Void Trace storage left. Yeah, fair doable. That's absolutely fine. I'm not upset if someone hasn't heard of the D&D project. It has been entirely on stream to this point. Stream and just talked about over on the Discord. Espri's lying. So to give a very quick summary for those of you who don't know, that 44% of you, I have had an ongoing project for a long time now. A long time. I think I started November 22, I want to say. And I don't mean November 22nd. I mean 2 years ago. A project to turn all Warframes into D&D monsters. D&D being Dungeons and Dragons. So that is to make it where a Dungeon Master could just take the stat blocks as created and use that to run it like any other Dungeons and Dragons monster, but it's Warframes. And it's also designed to be available at multiple tiers of play, so there are the very weakened Warframes, the Initiates, which are very easy to handle comparatively. Then you've got the Adepts, Masters, and Primes. Primes having access to all the Warframe's abilities, powers, scaling out the wazoo. Where if you are not ready to start facing God, you probably shouldn't be facing them. It has been a long project to do that. To convert all the mechanics to address how things need to exist within a D&D setting, to handle any balancing issues to come about, to decide what stays and what goes when there's limited space on the page, all of that lot. But the interesting thing about that project right now is that it's basically done. I will be posting it available for everyone free in the next couple of days. Completely free. Prime tiers to challenge a tier 4 party. Yeah, there will be a medium challenge for a tier 4 party. So they are challenge rating, for those who know. Challenge rating 4, 9, 14, and 19. So if you have a single challenge 19 Warframe against level 19 players, it'll be a medium fight. They'll spend a couple resources maybe. They should be able to handle it. But that's level 19 out of 20. That's as high as you go. If you have two challenge 19 Warframes together, 2 primes, that's gonna be difficult because the action economy scaling on top of the extra hit points and damage really starts to hit you there. Yeah. Really starts to hit you. I'll answer your question after the ads there, Cipher Clan. And I know you didn't hear that, but whatever. Ductile saying, you'd say that D will never endorse third-party programs. Will D endorse your project? There's not really anything to endorse. It's not like someone would look at the project and go, oh, but is it safe? Is it safe to play Dungeons & Dragons with a Warframe homebrew? Is it at risk of getting my account banned? There's not really anything to endorse. You see what I mean? It's just content. Straight up. Clan, to your question, what's the point of building status chance on melee weapons? For example, using melee with Weeping Wounds, can't you just use a companion or secondary to prime them? So, if you're only thinking about status priming, then sure. However, a lot of melee weapons can benefit from applying the status effect themselves for a damaging status effect. So if you have electric procs, or slash procs, or toxin procs, or heat procs that your weapon is pouring out in spades, that's a lot more damage you can be dealing to enemies. Electric procs will hit immediately, whereas heat procs will hit a second after they're applied, same with slash, same with toxin. So for enemies which are not dead within a second, that's a whole bunch of extra damage waiting to happen. And it means then you don't have to rely on your status primer to apply everything for you. Do they deal another damage instance? Effectively. Do you not really understand what status effects can do, Clan? Because that question has me a little concerned that you might not actually know what status effects do. And if that's the case, I do have guides on this to help you out. So I have got the damage type guide updated for 2024 change to status types. You can check that out. I have a older guide, but still relevant, on how damage is calculated in general as well. But suffice to say, there are damaging status types, and the damage of those status types comes from the base damage of the weapon, not from merely being present. You wonder why you went Weeping Wounds when you could just go all crit? Okay, so let's get an example weapon. Let's grab the Nikana Prime here. Nikana Prime probably has Weeping Wounds on it. Let's have a look. Yes, it does. Okay, so let me just walk you through what we're looking at here. So I don't think I have anything else giving me status chance here. No, nothing. So at the moment, my status chance is 28%. With Weeping Wounds, 40% per combo multiplier, that goes up to a max of plus 440%, so we would multiply this by 5.4. Our 28% climbs to 151.2% status chance. That is a guarantee of a status proc and a 51.2% chance of an extra proc with every single hit, rather than this paltry 28%. And you can see from the breakdown here, the majority of status procs I would land will be electric or slash, both of which are damaging status effects. So by making that 150%, I'm probably going to be applying 1 or 2 electric and or slash procs every single hit, with Weeping Wounds fully stacked up. This is especially helpful for melee influence, but even before then, that's just a lot of extra damage. If I hit the enemy for 10,000 damage, and I apply an electric proc, that electric proc is possibly going to be doing another 5,000 damage every second, starting immediately. That's just more damage. That is just straight up more damage. Whereas, what other mod could I put here? I could get a bit more crit, but I'm already getting a lot of crit out of Blood Rush and the Gladiator set effect. So a little bit more crit, or having to spend a lot of Forma to put on something like Sacrificial Steel, which again would only be an extra 56% with that one, 60-ish% with that one. On top of Blood Rush, already bringing this up to 150-odd%. You stack your multipliers. Anchorman asking, will Warframes have weapons in D&D? So each of the stat blocks is given weapons to work with. Let me just show you that. It's going to be easier if I just show you how that works. Let me get this up here. Is there a way to hide that toolbar? It's kind of in the way. Guess not. Alright, whatever. Makes a lot more sense. Glad I could help. So yeah, if I just switch over here we go. Let's move my webcam a little bit out of the way. Hello, I'm over here now. So let's go to Lavos. Yeah, who doesn't want to go to Lavos? Let's go Lavos. Wait for it to load in. So you can see, for example, we've got the Initiate and Adept stat blocks here. Designed for Lavos. Can I zoom in a bit? I can zoom in quite a bit. There we go. And we see that Lavos here is using a Tonfa, as well as having a cantrip to hurl acid flasks. I gave him that because, let's face it, if he's going to be an alchemist with the idea of hurling flasks and vials and whatnot, why not just give him a cantrip for it as well? Give him that straight up. And it says for the Tonfa, it's a melee weapon attack, +4 to hit on the Initiate, reach of 5 feet, hits one target, and on hit, it deals 1d6+2 bludgeoning damage. Just like a general stat block. It has access to the Acid Flask cantrip, and it just describes it in the stat block. And then it has access to Ophidian Bite, a leveled spell, and that is described down in the spells for Lavos. Lavos' Void powers, spells. So Ophidian Bite, 2nd level Void Conjuration, it's got its action, it's got its range, it's got its components, it's got its duration, it's got its effect, it's got its at high levels effect as well. The whole lot is all scoped out in the pages. It's all there. Sorry if you aren't already, but why not put the Tanakai mod in the Exodus spot? Because I've not fully invested into the weapon to max out its capability. When you see a weapon build in use on stream, it's not necessarily one that has been designed to be as powerful as possible, and it could even be a hodgepodge build that got changed because of an update coming out, which is likely what that one was. If we just go back and have a look at that. Yeah, so I had Opportunities Reach here, replacing whatever the D polarity used to be. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You get an Exodus adapter, slap that in there, move up Opportunities Reach, and then start planting in even more former to afford to put another mod here. And that would give you even more power. Absolutely right. It's just not what I've done with it so far. Can Zaku steal weapons from players? That's a good question. Let's find out. Let's go to Zaku. And let's bring up the spells. Grasp of Lock. Reaching out with an arm, Zaku flicks out strands of void energy to steal the weapons of its foes. Each non-friendly creature within range must make a strength saving throw. For each creature that fails this save, a weapon or item it is holding is wrenched from its grasp and hovers around Zaku, wreathed in void energy. So, yes. Yes, indeed, Grasp of Lock will steal the weapons from your players if they fail their saving throw. Absolutely. Zaku will happily do that. And the higher level Zakus also have access to the rest of the other bits and pieces, including the Vastan Time. Which is just brilliant. Those bits and pieces are there ready to go. Zaku Prime with its armor class of 21, a +12 to dex saving throws, and whilst Vastan Time is active, gains resistance to all damage caused by areas of effect, and attack rolls to hit Zaku, which roll an odd number on the die, are an automatic miss. Yeah. Strength stay check to steal it back is against Zaku's spell save DC. Yeah. Always whenever there is just a check stated in a spell, it is against the spell save DC, which is listed in each of the stat blocks as well. So Zaku Prime has a spell save DC of 20. Straight up. Anchorman. The thing with Zaku's Grasp of Lock is it could steal the Wizard's Staff. And then the Wizard is going to be very, very upset. If the Wizard's just holding on to the staff like, yeah, I got this ready to go, zappy. No. Great times be had. Great, great times. Rogue's bow, yep. Hey Rogue, you have a bow? Not anymore, you don't. Oh, yes indeed. And there are Warframes for basically every circumstance. And of course, page filler, artwork as well, all the way. What would Zaku steal off a monk? Their restraint. Yeah, Yeah, the monk would be relatively immune. I mean, monks can use weapons, but then the monk could go, oh, you took my sword. That's fine. I trained to deal with this. How would that work with Power Arm Artificer? I'd leave it up to the DM to figure out all the unique interactions. Very simple. I have not designed this to cover every single quest you might ever have, ever. That's why you have a DM at your table, rather than just a book. But yeah. Zaku in-game steals weapons from Infested. That appears as Void Orbs. Yeah, it just kind of affects the Infested for a moment, and then everyone just moves on with their life. Alright, Yasin, you take care. But yeah, all of the Warframes are here, which includes Cytonine. There we go. So Cytonine is already in the document as well. So this covers every single Warframe in the entire game up to this point. All of them. Out of tea. Water it is. Cheers, Yasin. In the new player's handbook, monks should practically never use weapons. I mean, it's the same in the old one. They didn't have to use weapons. It was just a thematic choice. You could if you wanted. What is this? This is my document turning every single Warframe into a Dungeons & Dragons monster. Every single one. How about his Cytonine's aimbot on his stat sheet? Whenever Cytonine lands a critical hit with a ranged attack, its critical range increases by 1. This can stack indefinitely. How's that do for you? Or how about Cytonine deploys a tiny scrying sensor, blah 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 blah. Cytonine has advantage to hit things that through walls, blah blah blah. So it could just scout through. For the spell duration, ranged attacks against revealed creatures through any amount of cover, including full cover without penalty to hit. What was the bit? What was it? Yes, here it is. If Cytonine has advantage to hit a revealed creature with a ranged attack, any miss is converted into a non-critical hit. That's the bit I was looking for. So yeah, he removes the concept of cover and then says, hey, if I have advantage to hit for any reason whilst you're revealed, I will hit. Every single time. If I miss, I actually hit. That's his aimbot. And yes, it is balanced. I have balanced around that. He just keeps casting Magic Missile. Pretty much considering this is a 10-minute duration cone. Yeah. The reason this is balanced is, one, I've taken that into account in his damage in the first place, and second, it's a non-critical hit on the frame that is designed to get crits by increasing his critical range. Critical range is not a term that's used in normal D&D. At least, not all the time. I made it an actual feature across a lot of different Warframes. So your critical range is usually just 20. By increasing it by 1, you crit now on a 19 or 20, but for anything other than a 20, you still need to actually hit to actually get the benefit of the crit. But yeah, if Cytonine was allowed to get enough crits, Cytonine could get his critical range all the way down to a 2, and just crit with literally every single hit. That's the player's problem. If you let that happen, kill him faster. Have I shown Wukong yet? I haven't shown it today yet. That's because there's a bajillion frames. But yeah, Wukong's covered as well. I've of course got a Wukong handshake as the image page for Wukong. Absolutely had to get one of the special handshakes going for that. And then yeah, Wukong is indeed statted out all the way up to the Prime, and that includes all of the spells as well. All the way. This is my D&D Warframe, thought it was actual Warframe from a sec. I've made all of this. Every last bit of it, yeah. Hope you have some way to give disadvantage to sight. Yeah, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it, Zom? Hope you can. Oh, by the way, he's invisible now. Oh, yes. These are all designed to have their own bits and pieces to figure through. I've also, with various armor types, firstly, if it's meant to be a metal armor, I've specified it. Because I know that for a lot of time, it can just kind of get in the way. If a DM says, oh, you're casting heat metal. Let me see. It's, well, I guess maybe there's some metal. I skip through that. Every single stat block, if the creature is supposed to be metallic in its armor, it has metal in the tag. And I've given them types of armor as well. So Wukong Master uses Ferros armor. Wukong Prime uses Oroxium armor. Just to, you know, put a little bit of interest to it. Bring in the Warframe a bit more. Yeah. What did I do with Wisp modes? I'm glad you asked. Aren't all Warframes made of metal? Kinda yes, kinda no. There's metal inside of you and me. Are we metallic? So I instead broke it down on a per Warframe basis to create a design. So they're different. That's the point, they're different. How did I handle Wisp modes? Like so. Tearing a small dimensional rift, Wisp conjures a flowery reservoir in its space to support it and its allies. The reservoir has AC 10, 20 hit points, and is immune to non-magical damage. Wisp and its allies gain a bonus from the reservoir when they come within 15 feet of it, fading 1 minute after they leave the range or the reservoir is destroyed. On cast, Wisp chooses one of the following effects. Vitality, target gains 10 max hit points and recovers 3 hit points at the start of its turn. Haste, target gains 10 feet of movement speed and +1 to hit with attacks. Or Shock, at the end of its turn, target may zap a creature it can see within 15 feet, and features, I'm not going to read the whole thing out. And then at higher levels, I've created a simple reference table. So with spell level 4th, 5th or 6th, the reservoir hit points increases, the range increases, the vitality effect increases, the haste effect increases, the shock damage increases. It's a very simple to read reference table. That's how I've handled the reservoir. It has a duration of 1 hour to account for the fact that, well, in game it just lasts for basically until you're done. And if you're still playing after an hour, that's not my problem anymore. If you have an hour-long fight, speak to your DM. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm saying now that have been added your favourite, and which was the hardest to translate? Okay, that was the hardest to translate, Zom. Not gonna lie. I think now that they've all been added, which one's my favourite and which was the hardest? My favourite is also the hardest to translate. Sight and I was hard, but the hardest is my favourite to have done, and that was Dante. That was absolutely 100% Dante. Before I click through to Dante, those of you who know Dungeons & Dragons, but don't know the answer to this, how do you keep the identity of Dante casting spell after spell after spell after spell after spell when players can wrap up a fight in 3 rounds? How do you capture that identity? The answer is how I've designed, also I included the owl, is how I have created Dante Prime. Dante Prime has cantrips of Light Word and Dark Word, which are shorter versions of Light Verse and Dark Verse, with the bonus actions to be able to cast Light Verse and Dark Verse leveled spells, as well as legendary actions for an even smaller version of the cantrips called Light Utterance and Dark Utterance. I have expanded out on the idea of verses into the words and utterances to create then a frame which is able to continuously keep up this mix and medley of light and dark to allow the DM to not just focus on the spells, but also then to set up the ideal final verse. Or you cast Silence and ruin it. Yeah, sure, why not? And it means then that in final verse, which has slightly broken, bollocks, gonna have to fix that. How did that happen? Well, it's a good thing I looked at this. I mean, I was going to double check it all anyway, but it's a good thing I've looked at that and found that there. Bollocks. Column break didn't work. That's an easy fix. Please tell me these all require verbal components. Yes, they do. Dante's Void Powers all require verbal components. Not every Warframe does require verbal components for everything, though. Yeah, with Final Verse, I took out Tragedy, and instead it's got light and light, light and dark, dark and dark. Part of the reason for that is that the DM doesn't have to remember in which order they cast light and dark. I just make that easier for them. Was it 2 lights, 2 darks, or a mix of the two? Simple. And likewise, Tragedy works on a mechanic that doesn't really exist in Dungeons & Dragons. That is damage over time being a major thing. So it was easy to can that one. And instead focus all in on Triumph, Word Warden, and Page Flight. Sorry, I looked broken for a moment. Dante was absolutely mind-bending to try and figure out how to fit in their design whilst also still being a Warframe and a Dungeons & Dragons monster. But I do believe I managed to make it work brilliantly. As he's a wizard, armor class is only 17, challenge 19. That is damn low. At the lowest level, it's armor class 12. But that's how it's supposed to be. Dante is not supposed to be tanky out the box. Dante is supposed to use his spells to become an abjurer. So yeah. Dante just kept adding castrate shards. Pretty much, I guess. Yeah, the Prime just steps it up to 1 billion. Unusually, the Dante Master doesn't have legendary actions, but the Dante Prime does. But that's a core part of the design for the Dante. It is all balanced around that. Dante gets 10 temporary hit points. Dante gets a whole bunch of options. Light Verse pumps out healing and temporary hit points, as does Triumph, as does Light Word and Light Utterance. There are temporary hit points everywhere in what Dante is doing. Everywhere. And he can punch you, yes. He has also got Ruvox. If it really comes to it, he's got the evolved Ruvox gauntlets. Like, why not? Why not? Evolved Ruvox gauntlets, melee weapon attack, +9 to hit, reach 10 feet, 1 target, hit 1d8 +3 magical bludgeoning damage. He's not supposed to use it, it's an absolute fallback, but if it really comes to it, he can just walk up to you, bomb. Why not? Does Ruvox have its incarnate? Technically, kind of yes, because below is normal Ruvox, which is not magical bludgeoning, and above it becomes magical bludgeoning with an extra 5 feet of range. So it evolves into a higher range, higher damage magical attack. But again, he's not really supposed to be using the gauntlets, they're more there for flavor. They are much more there for flavor. Add amount of time to fisticuffs, or when someone gets into melee range. Bit of column A, bit of column B. If Dante looks at someone and goes, you could die in 1 punch, then Dante could absolutely go, bap. Yeah. It is very much a backup, and there is no multi-attack on that gauntlet though, so it is just an average of 7 damage per round, which is utterly pathetic at that point. I'm using online music? Yeah, it's in the Orbiter. We're just in the Orbiter chilling with it. What I do with Mesmer Skin? Good question. It did need to be toned down from the game because, let's face it, Mesmer Skin is ridiculously powerful and that would not be fun. So, Revenant, Mesmer Skin, here we go. A shimmering, translucent covering that leaves Revenant head to toe, forming a barrier between it and anything that would do it harm. On cast, Revenant has 4 charges on its Mesmer Skin. At high levels, effects exist. On cast, it has 4 charges. Every time Revenant would take damage from a creature, Revenant instead takes no damage and loses a charge. The creature that caused the damage must then make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature's mind becomes a haze, making it incapacitated until the start of its next turn. On a successful save, the creature is unaffected and immune so this incapacitated effect for the remainder of the turn. When Mesmer Skin drops to 0 charges, the spell ends. Don't temporary hit points not overlap each other in D&D? Correct. Unless Dante. Dante Prime has a specific spell that makes it where... makes it where it just can stack temporary hit points. There's a very specific part of Dante's kit. On the Prime only. How does this work with Magic Missile? 4 theoretical saves. It would only be 1 save, because if you pass, you don't have to make the other rolls. And yeah, it depends on how your table handles Magic Missile, because some tables run it as all the Magic Missiles act as one, it's a single hit. Others act as if they are multi-hits. So it comes down to how your table plays that, I'll be quite honest. But it's up to your DM to make the ruling. If your DM says that it is separate individual hits, like they would break concentration, 1 hit, 1 hit, 1 hit, then it would be the same here of breaking all of those charges in a row. What if you DM? You get to choose. You get to choose. So yeah. So that's how I handled Mesmer Skin. At high levels, for each level above 5th, it creates 2 additional charges. So at the highest level, Revenant Prime casts Mesmer Skin at 7th level. So instead of getting 4 charges, it would get 8 charges. Yeah. What you're hearing is we can't let Anchor be DM. You guys can figure that out between yourselves. If you agree the rules before the game starts, you're good to go, right? But yeah. Every single Warframe that is playable to this day is in here. Is Limbo weak to nerd sniping? Actually, yes. In the playtest, we discovered yes, Limbo is indeed weak to nerd sniping. As in, Limbo got sniped by a nerd. When we playtested it, it was a very closed group of people in the community. And in the playtest, the Artificer popped down a magical cannon to shoot at Limbo. Limbo had jumped into the rift, and the cannon just went, yeah, but I'm magical. Limbo got fucked up. It turns out magical coconut cannon counters Limbo. Who'd have thunk it? It was amazing. Yeah. Just like Xmas units? Yeah. The Artificer was an Xmas unit. It was a Blitz Xmas, and Limbo did not dodge. Yeah, it was very good. The vast majority of these have seen a playtest. Cytonine has not technically been directly playtested. Simply the playtest had ended by that point. But everything up to Dante had been playtested, so Kome's also not been playtested. How do I model Saren's nuke the world effects? Good question. Good question. So with Saren, she has spore scaling, and I've actually put a warning on Saren's page. Due to the nature of the Spores spell, it is important to keep track of the rounds the spell has been active, as this scales up the damage of the disease on all affected creatures. This can scale endlessly if not addressed, with the spell only ending when nothing alive is infected, or if Saren dies. The total damage can mount up very quickly with repeat infections and widespreading. An intelligent party should keep a safe distance from infected creatures, and take steps to improve their resistance to the infection. Be aware that dying creatures are still infected and will take damage if they fail the saving throw. I've had to include a warning on using Saren. Because whilst it is balanced against an intelligent party. If your party are morons, well, that's not my problem anymore, quite frankly. If your party are morons, die, I guess. So Spores is a little bit of text. Casting time 1 action, range 90 feet, vocal somatic, until dispelled. Sarin infects a creature it can see within 90 feet with a magical disease, causing gruesome fluid-filled sacs to rapidly grow on various parts of the creature's skin. At the start of an infected creature's turn, it must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 2d6 acid damage. On a successful save, it takes no damage. If this is the third time the infected creature successfully made this saving throw, the effect ends on it. It can be reinfected. At the start of each of Sarin's turns, the disease damage increases by 1d6. As an action, Sarin may reduce the disease damage by 1d6 and infect another creature within 90 feet. Whenever an infected creature takes damage from an attack, one of the fluid sacs bursts. All creatures not friendly to Sarin within 15 feet of the target must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, a creature is coated with the contents and becomes infected with the disease if it isn't already. The spell ends when all affected creatures have recovered or died. At higher levels, when Spores is cast using a spell slot above 3rd, for each level above 3rd, the disease damage starting point increases by 2d6. This is Sarin, and that's just the first ability. Now, this does have a number of counters. For starters, if you just split up, things can't spread. Secondly, it is a magical disease. If you are immune to disease, no effect. In the playtest, we had to actually ignore that it was a disease because Sarin tried infecting someone who was immune to disease. And for the point of the playtest, to be able to test Sarin's damage scaling, we had to ignore that player's feature. Because otherwise Sarin just went, fuck. So, yeah, there are counters. There are absolutely counters. But if you do not counter it, if you all group together and be like, oh no, we're sick and all dying, Sarin's going to laugh at you whilst you melt into a puddle of failure. And if someone complains to me on Twitter about this and goes, Ken, Sarin's overpowered, I will laugh at you. Because I had to specifically nerf a player to play Sarin. Yeah. Grand Slayer saying, hello Mr. Kenjineer, just here to say I like the videos you are making. Hey, thank you, welcome on in. Glad you enjoy the videos. We are currently talking about kind of Warframe, kind of not, so welcome on in. Aren't Warforged immune to disease? If they are, then yeah, that'll be it. What did I do with Zephyr's Turbulence or Mace's Shadow Shield? Melee only, or did I nerf them? That's two questions in one. I'll pick one of them. You said Zephyr first. Let's go Zephyrs. Zephyr, Turbulence. Also had to get a picture of the tornadoes in. With this helpful little note, which is actually real-world advice, by the way. Tornadoes, when they look like they are not moving, they're coming right for you. Just actual real-world advice right there. Anyway, Turbulence. 6th level Void Abjuration, casting time 1 action. Cast on self, duration 1 minute. A magical whirlwind surrounds Zephyr as a protective barrier against both the mundane and the magical. For the spell duration, all ranged attacks against Zephyr are automatically miss, as they are harmlessly deflected. In addition, the turbulent air shifts helpfully, creating an orb of radius 30 feet around Zephyr. Zephyr and its allies in the aura gain 15 feet all movement speed, and do not suffer disadvantage for making range attacks at long range. So I've got Turbulence is deflecting all the range attacks, but not spells cast at a distance. Those aren't attacks, they don't get affected. And it also has the augment effect to improve movement speed and projectile speed effectively. You don't increase your max range, but you don't have disadvantage on the max range. What would happen if Magic Missile were to hit Turbulence? Well, first of all, you don't target Turbulence, you target a person. Second of all, Magic Missile is not a ranged attack. You do not make an attack roll, so it can't miss. The rules explain the rules on that one. Magic Missile just hits. You declare it. Very much Office Space style. So, not Office Space, The Office. That way, yeah. You got waiting for players Infinity and Duviri? Oh, you just need to reset. Begin again. Some spells are ranged magical attacks, like ray spells. That they are, yes. Some of them are. And those would miss automatically against Turbulence. Very correct, yeah. Like, for example, I think Ember has a ranged spell attack as a cantrip. Let me double check that. Ember. Fire Strike. Ember casts Fire Strike as a 2nd level spell. No limit on casting. Also, yeah, gotta get that Ember in there as well. Anyway, yeah. Fire Strike. Ember hurls 1 mode of searing fire at 1 creature within range, making a ranged spell attack. Yeah, there we are. That needs capitalizing. I'm going to make a quick note of that. Ember 1 capital. There we are, made a note. That needs correcting. Was it heirloom? Of course it's heirloom. We got the heirloom there, and then we've got on the main page as well, heirloom as well. I want someone, when they look at the Ember page, they get to the Ember section, that's what they see, and they go, yes, I think this is a Warframe that uses fire. Yup. You've only played D&D once, it's sort of a mock game. Oh, fair enough. I've played, well, enough that I can make this document, so yeah. Bard rolls to seduce. What's your fire resistance, Bard? Also, I've made all the Warframes evil, so deal with that. All Warframes are evil. They're basically chromatic dragons, but worse. Showing the wrong side of Ember. Look, I wanted to be able to actually ship the document and not have it considered inappropriate. I won't stop the Bard? Yeah, the Bard will be counting hit points. I know. I think making them evil discourages people. Look, it just means that if people end up getting shafted by the DM, in-game, then they can't complain to me. Or out-of-game still can't complain to me. Like, seriously, I don't want to know. People do the dragons too? I know. Even before they transform, I know. Are these piloted by Tenno? No. So, because I wanted these to be able to drop into any campaign, as it were. Anything flashy on the lights? Sure, let's go for jump. What's jump? What? Oh, there we go, yeah. It's that. There you are. So because I wanted this to be able to drop into any campaign, I've given an intro, which is very much Warframe, but it has absolutely no mention of the Tenno. None. Warframes are deadly monstrosities, the result of cruel experimentation in the pursuit of a machine of war. Humanoids infected with an unnatural disease, crafted to turn flesh to armor and body to weapon. While the experiment was broadly successful, Warframes lacked obedience, eventually turning on their creators. As a result, much of their history has been lost to time. Now they are feral, unbound, plundering whatever and whomever to establish a horde. Their horde is not unlike that of a dragon, both in its wealth and its defenses. Adventurers will find Warframes have a particular affinity for collecting powerful magical weapons and armor, or the resources to create more. So that has absolutely nothing to do with Tenno. More like Umbra, exactly like Umbra. All of them are acting in their own right. They're just like Umbra, they're just like Jade, they have their own presence. Because the last thing most players in D&D want is for the DM to go, hey, you know how you just defeated the big bad Ember? Well, guess what? You were beating up a child soldier. You're the dick. Don't be that DM. Unless you cover that kind of thing first with your players, don't be that DM. Don't suddenly child soldier the enemies. It's one thing to play as the child soldier and be like, okay, we're just going to gloss over all of the abuse here. It's another to do that. So I've put together the intro blurb for anyone who's not played Warframe and picks up this document to just completely ignore the Tenno exist. And likewise, I have a little note on balance versus lore accurate, because let's face it, Atlas can punch a comet. Yeah. Ask a Mega's question, don't care about how many hit points I'll lose, can I give Venari a treat? Let's see. Bite, please give me a D20 we're going to roll for animal handling. Given that we don't know anything about your animal handling, we're just going to say it's a flat D20 bite. You need to beat Venari's wisdom stat. So go ahead, bite. Exclamation mark D20. Let's see if you can successfully coax a quick little treat feed to Venari. Because I do have a stat block, of course. You rolled a 6! Oh, okay, bite. Let's see. Is 6 good enough? Let's head down to Cora's section. Hello, Venari. Wisdom 20. You did not beat Venari's wisdom. I forgot it was 20. You were never going to win. You were never going to win. Oops. You can certainly try. It's a contested roll. Venari should roll 2. No, it's the roll that the DM declares, Anchorman. The DM declares the check. Rule 1. DM's always right. I declared the roll. The roll was the roll. It just so happened that, yeah, Bite did not argue in favour of any bonuses and roll a 6. Bite would need a plus 15 to rescue that one. Point is, all the stats are there. Plus, I felt this page worked well having the graphic there. Cora running alongside Venari, got the Strangle Dome. I figured that just kind of added enough to give you the idea what's going on. You can't roll arbitrary dice, Solomir. It's just a d20. It's just a flat d20. Because it's not actually rolling a die. There's no mathematics happening. There's no code. The only thing that's happening when you do exclamation mark d20, it is just exclamation mark d20, is the bot responds with the same line, but where the number is, I've just given it 20 different answers. So, when it says Anchorman 41 rolled a 13, it's going user rolled a, and then it's just got 20 different options and picks randomly from them, which is as good as rolling a d20 gets. It's not coded in. It's literally just 20 different commands on the same command. It works. It's stupid, but it works. So that's how we have a d20 command. Yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of low rolls, so good luck, y'all. You're all going to die, apparently. Gorilla's okay. Of course the person with a Glock is okay. Is this Kengineering? It very much is, yes. Let's be grateful Streamlines lets you add that many. I was running up against the character limit on a different command that had, like, 40 things in it, I want to say. Maybe 35. It was getting a bit touch and go. It was getting a bit touch and go. Oh, I think y'all are actually starting to make the bot struggle. Not gonna lie. I think the bot's beginning to struggle with the d20 rolls. Yeah. Every Warframer is represented, and it's represented at 4 different tiers, so that every party can engage a Warframe, basically. The lowest is a Challenge 4, which a party of level 1s probably shouldn't face. But a party of level 3s, they can face a Challenge 4, absolutely. A party of level 2s, I wouldn't recommend it. That's going to be quite swingy, but you can if you want to. I just wouldn't recommend it. Be ready for someone to be pissed off. But everywhere level 3 and above, there are Warframes you can encounter. Absolutely. And you may notice, the really beady-eyed among you, you may notice that Hydroid and Inaros have a couple extra sections. They have Ocean and Swamp Hydroid, and they have Tomb and Crypt Inaros. And this is because in the development of this document, DE completely reworked Hydroid and Inaros after I had already designed them. So I designed them again. I just designed them again. Anything that I could carry over, I did. Anything I couldn't, I made it different. So they have their own spells, they have their own features, they are still quite similar to each other. They're still a Hydroid and still an Inaros. But yeah, that's how I've respected the rework. And it means you do get to play puddle hydroid. If you want to have a hydroid turn into a lethal puddle, Ocean Hydroid still has the puddle spell. DE can take it away from you, but I won't. It's right there. Puddle gaming? Oh yeah. And it's dangerous. I made it dangerous. Yeah, fair enough, Will. If you've got Munchkin players and you know that they can handle a CR4 monster at the end of a dungeon, sure, go for it. Why not? What did I do with Petrify? Petrify things. What about Anaris infinite stacking? Not many things have infinites here. Oh, suddenly Thanos. Please do not mind the purple and gold Atlas. Petrify, 6th level void transmutation, 60-foot code, 1 minute. After the action, Atlas channels the essence of the earth into nearby enemies, chooses any number of creatures within the cone, each of which must make a constitution saving throw. On a failed save, each creature begins. Fuck. That didn't get picked up as a spelling error because it's a correct word. Atlas Petrify needs fixing. This is why I haven't released it yet. I'll fix that. Yeah, so each creature begins to turn to stone and is restrained. At the start of Atlas's next turn, all affected creatures must repeat the saving throw. On a success, the spell effect ends on the creature. On a failure, the creature is petrified as stone. If the spell ends early, such as by Atlas dying, then all creatures petrified by it are immediately freed and gain 1 level of exhaustion. Otherwise, the effect becomes permanent at the end of the spell duration. Do I have anyone proofreading for me? I don't know. You guys will be the proofreaders. When I release it, you'll look through it and go, hey, Kengineer, on page 73, hold on, let me get my glasses. Yeah, on page 73, line 19, you put a double space, not a single space. Sorry, yeah, I want a refund. I know that's going to happen. What about Trinity and Nyx rework? So those aren't directly included. Well, no, they're not included. So the reason being on that, one, I wanted this to be done. And two, the reworks were more enhancements for them. Like Trinity mostly got duration improvements. Got a little bit here or there otherwise, but mostly it was duration improvements. So that doesn't require me to completely redo Trinity. And with Nyx, more of the changes are irrelevant when it comes to D&D. So like the propagation of psychic bolts after killing an enemy is not really going to be relevant in a D&D setting. Because the psychic bolts is going to have hit everyone that's in the main combat by and large anyway. So yeah. Do I want people to report back? It'd be nice, yeah. There is a section at the bottom as to where to email. So this work is created by the Kengineer. To contact Kengineer about this work, such as submit corrections, please email tabletopwarframes@thekengineer.com. I have that email set up and ready to go for corrections to be received, and it specifically invites it. So yeah, I've already got you covered on that. Or rather, I've got me covered? I don't know how that works. When will this PDF be released? Within the next 2 days. I basically need to do one final proofread, triple check bits like, you know, Ember's 1, there was a capitalization missed, Atlas's Petrify, I put the wrong word in. But before the end of the year, this will be released. For free. Completely free. You don't have to pay a single penny. The only thing you'll have to do is to actually go to it and download it. And that's it. That is it. If you're only Warframe content you ever watched while walking a pub, hey, Mango! It's been a hot minute. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Hope you're doing well. Speaking of, Mango, seeing as this is your only Warframe content, do you ever play or have you played Dungeons & Dragons? Because that's what we're looking at the moment. Warframe crossed with Dungeons & Dragons. By me. have people to play with. I mean, you don't need people to play Dungeons & Dragons with. You can just read through the document and dream of having friends. It's an option. It is certainly an option. Haven't none of your friends do? You think it's cool? Made this? I made it all the way through, yeah. Corvix was an interesting one to make. Including that capturer. I'm quite happy with how that capturer came out. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Getting that zoomed in shot as the walls are collapsing in. Getting the exact moment that those walls were just coming in was, so difficult, not gonna lie. It took many attempts to get that lined up. Many attempts. And then I had to fix the shadows, because the shadows were all wrong. What about Grendel's 1? Can it eat players? Hey, Crown Ladybug, would you like to let Nicholas GE know? Can Grendel eat players? Crown Ladybug? Ladybug was one of the playtest players in the closed playtest. And Grendel was incorrectly balanced. I had to fix it after that fight and did a redo. Ladybug experienced firsthand just how badly it can go. Oh boy, howdy. Yes, Grendel can eat players. Yeah. Bite say, not gonna lie, this kind of makes me want to try and do this for Lancer. Okay, Bite, I should probably warn you, this has taken me over 400 hours. That's not an exaggeration. This has taken me over 400 hours. That is to conceptualize, to actually start putting together the alpha variants, to go through and then sanity check. That means actually getting all the data out into a spreadsheet, compare the different stats, fix the stats which are out of place, adjust further from there, to play test them, to refine based on play testing, to get it all into the positions. I've even changed renderer through this to make it look even better, because the original one was a bit more basic looking. And then there's the time as well to do the captures, getting all of those into place. Play testing itself took a fair amount of time. So, yeah. Was Crown Ladybug the one that was immune to sarin spores? No. Crown Ladybug was in a different group. So I ran 2 groups at the same time. So I'd run a Nubia group in the first part of the week, in the first part of the Saturday that week. And then an hour later, I was running the advanced group. So the noob group was called Duck Squad. The advanced group was called Wolf Squad. All of the people in the Duck Squad had either not played D&D before or played it just very little. And everyone in Wolf Squad had played in multiple campaigns, even most of them had even run a campaign themselves. So, Duck Squad was, what happens when newbies try to fight Warframes, not really understanding D&D? And Wolf Squad was, what happens when min-maxers told all they're doing is fighting, try to kill Warframes? Caliban got fucked up by Wolf Squad. The Barbarian 1v1'd him and won with flying colours. Caliban did not stand a chance. Because Caliban can adapt to damage types, and the Barbarian could switch damage type every single turn. Meanwhile, Caliban's like, haha, I've got all of this slashing damage because I'm spinning. And the Barbarian's like, I'm a Barbarian, bitch. That ain't gonna work. It did not end well for Caliban there. Meanwhile, when Duck Squad fought Caliban, Duck Squad were crying. Duck Squad were screaming bloody murder. I mean, one of them did basically nearly die. And Caliban may have torn a child in half. But, you know, that's Caliban. What can you expect? Kneel before Caliban? Please don't. That is pretty much what Queenie did, and it did not end well for Queenie. Fun fact, if you are prone, melee attacks from within 5 feet have advantage to hit you. This is a bad thing. Yeah. Don't do that. Nobody here to defend herself, much like in D&D. True. True. But hey, Queen did fireball Dante, so, you know, it's all good in the end. Queen also did provide Dante the ability to summon a Zaku, but that's getting into deep lore. So yeah, I am really, really chuffed to bits that I can finally say this project is basically done. I've got one final passover to do, and then just make sure I've got the right setup for it to be released and not cause issues. So that'll be done within the next 2 days. You wish you could have been on one of these playtests. It was very restricted. We had just 13 people in the playtest, and that was to make sure we had everyone who could be on time every week for those playtests. We needed to have that consistency, and it was a split perfectly down the middle with the amount of experience people had as well. So it was a very close playtest so that I could really try it. You didn't play because you had another mic? Yeah, that's fair enough. There were a number of people who applied and just weren't accepted into the playtest because they wouldn't have fit the need. That simply happened. So yeah. I am so chuffed with how all of this has come together. Doing the captures really was difficult at times. Like trying to figure different scenes and poses and setups for every single one of them and how to make it look like it's more of a D&D setting than a Warframe setting. So bringing out Oberon there, bringing out the Octavia, making it look like you could expect to face that in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. We've got Nyx is, I'll be honest, one of the weakest ones I've done. Not really a fan as to how that came together, but it'll have to do. Nova, I considered trying to use the portal, but it looked a little bit too video gamey. I got the maggot. Of course I've included the maggot. Why wouldn't I include the maggot? Nidus gets his maggot there. I absolutely had to include Maggot Prime. Absolutely. Cute little thing. Dangerous little thing. Horrible little thing. Oh, yeah. And yeah, the maggots have their stats down here. And then Nidus himself just being all kind of straight out of Edge of Tomorrow film. Neja being playful as ever. Can you roll to pet the maggot? You can pet the maggot. The maggot will also pet you. This one, I'm still in two minds about. I'm still in two minds as to how it looks. Because on the one hand, I like it. On the other hand, I don't like it. And you can see how that's a problem. It feels a little too mundane, I will be quite honest, but at the same time, I have got the shadow just looming in the background there. Well, back of the foreground. It's not background. He's just there, standing. It's not my favourite. Whereas that one came out nice. That one came out lovely. I think it's great for Necros. Maybe have corpses on the floor. I didn't want too many corpses on the floor things because, well, I got a few of those. How did I deal with Valkyrie's invincibility? With great forethinking and just making it happen. You'll see in the full document. That one came out nice as well. This one, I chose the pose as a callback to the playtest. Because in the playtest, the Mesa, after having a bit of a parlay with the party, put her foot up onto the bar she was just mixing some drinks at, think Old Westy Tavern, backflipped up off the bar onto the banister of the floor above, legs akimbo, guns out, and open fire. And it's like, I have to reference that in the picture. I had to. That's just the way to do it. So yeah, I'm very happy with how that one came out as well. Mag's mag. Yeah, not happy with that one. Loki. My headcanon for how this came out is that, you see Loki here. If you think I'm talking about this is not Loki. Sorry, you've fallen for the decoy. That's Loki. This is the decoy. The shadow, the invisible thing back there, that's Loki. And I didn't need to edit in the shadow. That is just part of Captura on the specific scene that I used. There is one specific scene that creates that kind of shadow effect just from that angle. So, it worked out. And in case someone didn't figure out what I've done with it there, I kind of technically told you to look back at it in the intro to Loki. There. Limbo Rift. Had to include that. It doesn't really come up, but it just looks nice. Fills the space. So, had to include it. Limbo being Limbo. Gotta have a Lavos probe in there as well. Lavos being Lavos' best selves. Yeah. Anyway, if I show you all of those, you won't have anything to look forward to, so I'll stop that right there. We'll stop that right there for now. That will be released before the end of the year. That is what you have to look forward to. And considering the end of the year is literally 2 days away. Yeah. Lavos standing trials for crimes against the janitor? Oh, no, no, no. Lavos is judge, jury, and executioner. You've been sentenced, and that ex-prison guard, he's delivering the sentence. And he's going to enjoy every little moment of it. That's Lavos. He asked for a continuance. No. Lavos is just going to kill you now. You started an alternate account about the time down vids first started. No, it's been improved. Man, the early game is slow. There are some slow sections, yeah, absolutely. There are some rather unfortunate sections. I think I referred to one of the episodes as the doldrums, which is, you know, not great. Not great. Let's crack some more relics. We've got a couple people in the squad still. We've got Mirror, we got Nexus. Don't know if you're still around. Let me know in the chat if you two are still here. And that means we have got space for someone else to join in as well as we crack onto some more relics. So, let me know in game. The Kengineer. Send me a message, I can bring you on into the squad. These two are definitely still here. That is brilliant. We'll go crack open some more relics. Now we're done gushing over D&D Warframe. Yeah, just a couple relics to wrap up all the bits and pieces. Gonna be big boy tanky? Yeah, fair enough. Your PC crashed? Not to worry, it happens. Cheers, Doom Guy. I love that soundbite every time. There we go, we got our message. And it is Meow Milk. Alright, Meow Milk, come on in. Sorry, Tycoon. A little bit just like. Oh, wait. What the? Meow Milk 66 appears to be offline. There we go. Yeah, that's a different one. Warframe being Warframe. Alright, let's see. We've got... Let's do the Rescue Fisher. And refinement, absolutely none. Let's just grab you for now, it'll be fine. D&D actually turned on? No, D&D would say they have Do Not Disturb turned on. It's just a bug being a bug right there. Just a bug. The song is so infectious? Well, you know, it is, it's the signal spreading. The signal is spreading. That's what it is. Steam Deck occasionally just can't chat. Oh, that's fun. At least you got plenty of occasionallys.
Person of interest is in the vicinity. Search for the hostage and bring them home.
The hunt is on, Tenno. The synthesis scanner is detecting a potential target.
The hunt is on! Do the thing! Shut up, Samaras, we don't care.
Void fishers. You need them to open a relic, but are you confident?
Oh, I've still got the Arcana equipped. Dang it. I thought I had Zoris.
You're near a fissure. The enemies are dropping reactors.
I don't know how I ended up in those pipes, not gonna lie. Didn't mean to be there.
Find more.
Didn't mean to be there.
There's a heavy unit.
Speaking of Warframe bugs, like to see a spider-themed Warframe. I wonder if D have avoided doing spider-theme because of the number of people with arachnophobia.
Well done, Tenno.
It might be that they don't want people to close off from the game because of spiders. I might be incorrect on that, but it seems like a possibility.
Careful. If the wardens detect you, they will surely initiate the execution sequence.
It's also a sad possibility, really, because, you know, it's not like they'll make an actual spider, but, you know. You thought there was a spider in the works? I don't remember them guaranteeing a spider frame in the works.
The hostage is almost out of time. Hurry. Watch yourself.
Okay.
Premier are on
Okay.
the way.
Okay, they got it. Alright. I got in there. Couldn't do anything. Got out.
Subject found. You need to bring the captive to safety. Protect them at all costs.
Tactical little refresh there. Spun my Lavos around just at the right time. There we are. Steve was teasing about it. Steve can tease about anything, really. Steve doesn't have a part in making Warframe anymore. He's moved on to Soulframe, so Steve can just say stuff. I mean, yeah, he's still involved, just not directly. Yeah. Now, the only time you can be certain we've got a spider frame coming is when D actually announce we have a spider frame coming. Until that happens, and unless that happens, it ain't happening. Don't get sold on futures. Don't build your hopes up for things that you have no real control over. It is very easy in the gaming industry especially to get sold on futures. Stick to what's confirmed. Alright, let's do one more run of that. You can bet on Lavos Prime. You can reasonably bet on that, yes. I don't think you're going to just end the Prime series all of a sudden. So yes, you can bet on Lavos Prime arriving at some point. But it's like, if you were betting on exactly when Lavos Prime would have dropped, you'd have been disappointed because the order has been broken. So things like that. If you were betting on what they show on dev streams, well, modular Arcwings. That's my point on futures. If you were to have tried to purchase Lavos Prime ahead of time, it's not possible, but if you were to have tried to, then you would have been upset when he didn't actually come out in 2024.
Track it with the synthesis scanner. Don't let it escape.
And likewise, if say you were going, oh, I really want a spider frame, and then just committed yourself to buying a spider frame, even if he did want, it might end up coming out as nothing at all like you'd want. Look at the people who are like, oh yeah, werewolf frame, werewolf frame. Varuna. But Varuna wasn't pitched as a werewolf frame. Varuna was shortly after talk about the idea of a werewolf frame. There was a distinction. And a lot of people, because they're not terminally online and watching everything DE do, didn't catch that distinction. They caught, oh, werewolf frame idea. Oh, that'd be nice. Hey, look, Varuna, that's a wolf theme. Is that a werewolf frame? Really, really not. Don't sell yourself on futures. Sell yourself on what exists. Far, far more likely to get what you want that way. Okay, I got out-of-bounded twice for that. I screwed up the dash. And there's a door in the way. Do you really want to buy a spider frame by Cora? Honestly, yeah, Cora is pretty close to being a spider frame already. She is pretty close there. The cat is a bit of a weird bit, but sure, why not? The cat keeps the bird away, and so the bird can't eat the spider. That's what it is. And therefore, canonically, Zephyr and Cora do not get on.
I thought I was gonna die in there. Thank you.
You've located the hostage.
Big dash. Ah, there's a gap.
And I'll take care of the rest.
Big dash. There's a ledge, damn it. Ah, there's another jump, damn it. There we are. The number of times that you have to jump around on this map really screws up Vile Russian. It is, it's anti-Lavos architecture, very right. It also affects Revenant with his Reeve ability. Yeah. Go on, Spider-Man, there's Valkyr's Ripline. It doesn't move anywhere near as effectively. It just doesn't. Several times I've broken spacebar? Oh god. After what I've just said, yeah, that would be bad. Riplines for golf, not Spider-Man? True, true. I don't have a silver Renegade's Prime Blade at the moment. Let's grab that. Yeah, it'd be nice if Ripline had more oomph behind it, more opportunity to do silly stuff. Imagine if it functioned just straight up like the grapple on Pathfinder in Apex Legends. Imagine if that's what Valkyr's Ripline actually was. Instead, we just get kinda yoink. Just kinda yoink. Have I looked into the effects of the new arcanes? Not too much because I was on holiday after doing the Side to 9 video. So, no. That is probably going to be one of the first things I look into in the new year. Yeah. Anyway, for now, unfortunately, that's all we have got time for today. So, I think it's about time we do a Platinum giveaway. If you've not already grabbed yourself a ticket for that, exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win that. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, you could be PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, or mobile. And you could be following, you could be subscribed. This could be your very first message in the chat, like we have right there from Hoyam. Welcome on in. Exclamation mark ticket in the chat for a chance to win that. I'll give you all a minute to grab that just in case you forgot. Nope, bye. No derailing today. You're not going to derail me. We're going to do the giveaway. We'll wrap it up from there because I have got bits and pieces to do and I've got a flapjack to finish. Who's been around long enough to understand that context? Yeah, if the bot says fail to enter too many tickets, you already have one. It's fine. The bot doesn't penalise you. The bot does not penalise you on this. What is a flapjack anyway? Flapjack is made from primarily oats, butter or margarine, sugar. I recommend using brown sugar, and golden syrup. Let me go get the recipe. I'll be back in just a sec. Let me get the recipe. Here we go. Right then. This is as much of a derail as you're getting because it's flapjack. Flapjack is okay. So, oat biscuits. I have the recipe here. It's a home recipe, so it may not be like you'll find on BBC Good Foods or whatnot, but it's fine with me. It is 5 ounces of porridge oats, 6 ounces of plain flour, 4 ounces of sugar, better to use soft light brown sugar, 4 ounces of margarine or butter, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. You can substitute for maple syrup if you want to try. Half a teaspoon of bicarbonate soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The method? Simple. In a large bowl, mix all the dry ingredients together. Separately in a pan, add the marg and golden syrup, warm gently until it's all melted together. Do not boil it. Add the marg and syrup mix to the dry ingredients and stir it in well. And then you can lay out your mixture onto a greased baking tray. No flour on the tray, just greased. Bake it in the oven on gas mark 3 or 160 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes until golden brown. Once it comes to serving, serve it out on a baking tray right away to cool. You want it on a cooling rack. Don't leave it in the tray. And be fairly quick as they will cool off quickly, sticking to the tray. If that happens, just put it back in the oven for a minute to soften up again. I love that little note from the recipe here. You may need to bake it a little bit longer depending on the thickness of the flapjack you're cooking. So, just keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't burn at the edges. And there you are. That is the recipe that I have here. It is a very high-tech recipe. It's literally just Times New Roman on an A4 sheet of paper printed out. And that's the best recipe. That's when you know it's the good shit. This ain't some fancy pants book going, oh yes, you want to be getting those high quality almonds from Brazil and then sprinkle them on top with the cinnamon. You can only get that from a certain French village. I don't want any of that bullshit. But it's got a whole booklet for recipes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Though this is a book full of the best recipes for me. This is all the stuff that just makes my heart sing. It's the good recipes. So yeah. You want to make it now when you get an oven? Yeah, fair enough. There are no bake flapjack style recipes you can get a hold of as well, Ladybug. So if you do want to do that, it would probably be, again, similar quantities of oats, peanut butter, honey. If you do that together, you'll get a very different flavor profile, but you'll get a very similar texture. So oats, peanut butter, honey, mix it together nice and well, put it in the fridge for, I think, 30 minutes, shaped out. And then you can cut it into chunks, and that's basically a protein bar right there. That's just straight up a protein bar, or a breakfast bar. Good to go. It won't have the same baked nature as a flapjack. It won't have that flouriness to it. It'll instead be quite stodgy and heavy, but massively energy dense if you want to go that route. And that, as I say, is a no-bake one. So yeah, anyway, that's enough distracting on recipes and whatnot. I think it's about time that we actually run the giveaway. Let's see here. We've got all the entries in. If you haven't already grabbed a ticket, you clearly weren't paying attention earlier. Let's have a look then. Out of those of you who have entered, there's only going to be one winner. The winner today of the very last Platinum Raffle of 2024. It is indeed going to be Al Aegir. Aegir, congratulations, you are the winner today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of this stream. Get hold of your Warframe username, platform, and if you've got cross-save turned on or not. Aegir thought, wait, what? Yeah, I know, right? If you enter a giveaway, you can win. What do you know? What do you know, eh, Aegir? It's your one today. And look at that, you were actually one of the last people to pop a ticket in as well. Would you? Look at that. You never win? Well, sorry to let you know, Aegir, you can no longer say that, unless you want to be a liar. You're now a winner. Congratulations. I'm just going to send you a quick smiley face by whisper. Aegir, if you can just reply to that with your Warframe username, platform, and if you have cross-save turned on or not, I'll send you the further details shortly after the end of the stream. Now,
Another pun? How humiliating.
Cheers, Mantis. Separate to that, my ISP is still being a bit of a dick when it comes to handling raids and whatnot, so unfortunately we are not going to be raiding out today. We're just going to be wrapping up the stream. You can raid yourself physically over to another stream if you wanted, or otherwise just come back on the next one in the new year. I'll be live again on Wednesday, that is January 1st. Rise and shine for the good stuff in 2025. So have a very good start to your year, and a very good end to this one. I hope you have yourselves a wonderful time, and maybe even some flapjack. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.